Oklahoma City. I can't remember the name of the team.
Are they also in Oklahoma City? The Oklahoma City.
Oh,
the Blue. It's the Blue.
Wait, they have a NBA team and a G League team?
Maybe it's not I think it's
Tulsa. Is it Tulsa?
Oklahoma City. I think it's Oklahoma City.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, because when we were in Norman, Gibbs came to visit us.
Grant Gibbs.
And I think he was in town. Let's see.
I think it's the Oklahoma City Blue. That's what I'm going.
It is.
Let's go.
The Oklahoma City Blue.
It's
pretty like if the Storm Chasers were in Kansas City.
That'd be awesome.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Focus.
Name all the G League teams.
Would you like the city or the nickname?
I know the Maine Red Claws.
Hey, very good.
I'm not gonna know any of these, so you guys can play this game.
Okay,
Maine Celtics.
They changed.
According to the G League site.
How about the Windy City Bulls?
Oh yeah,
the Bulls.
Or the
there's a
Windy City something.
I guess it does.
But they share G League teams.
There it is. Yeah, it is the Windy City Bulls. Sorry, there was a pop-up in front of it. Yeah, Windy City Bulls. We have the Wisconsin Herd.
Wouldn't have got that.
No.
Like Colin Cowherd?
Perhaps.
Wisconsin. Jeez, a lot of fat people.
Perhaps when Bronny joins the Laker organization, he and Dad can play for the South Bay Lakers.
South Bay Lakers. Okay.
So every team now has
they have an individual one?
I believe every team now has their own, because it used to be they shared.
Yeah, because there weren't enough teams.
But I believe now, in fact, there actually might be more teams than there are affiliates, because you have the Mexico City Capitanes.
Whoa,
really?
Nice.
The G League?
And the G League Ignite.
Yes, that's full of the high school kids.
Yeah.
Speaking of dumb ideas and hearing about a G League team being out of the United States of America, remind me of NFL teams supposedly being in London.
That's right.
And just how dumb that was.
Great idea. They'll be in the NFC
year.
East.
When will the Jaguars move to London?
If they actually do this, I will. I mean, look, is it going to affect my life? No, but I'll think it's dumb.
It's dumb.
I'll say it's dumb. I'll say this is very dumb. Especially because they're going to have to have an American base for when they fly back to America.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Yeah.
Is it more dumb? I think it's probably more dumb than USC and UCLA being in the Big Ten, but it's close to as dumb.
It's more dumb than that. I mean, yeah, you're right. It's dumb to have the Pac-12 schools in the Big 10, but yeah, having
that's more dumb.
It's one thing if you have a team in Mexico City. It's one thing if you have a team in Toronto or Montreal. But yeah, it's all within a few hours flying distance. We're talking about
overseas time zones.
I mean, right now, can you imagine? Because I have to imagine, even despite their preparation, there's a chunk of Scott Frost's stomach that is
chunk. The
chunk. I guess this was a word last week or something.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
There's a chunk of Scott Frost's stomach right now that's not feeling so good because he's wearing, the whole travel and stuff.
I would say it's more than a chunk.
Yeah, we have to do this every year.
Yeah, I would say that it's like probably 80%. He's like, man, if we could just not play this game in Ireland, that would be sweet.
Dumb debates question. How much would Scott Frost give up in his own salary to not have to have this game?
Well, what's the payout for? Isn't Nebraska getting how much are they getting for this?
How much are they getting?
I don't know.
Game?
That's Bill Moose.
I want to say it was like.
I should text Sipple. Hey, text Moose, will you?
How much you getting on this?
How much you getting?
Is it like $3-4 million?
Sounds about right.
Okay, so how much is
basically giving up a year's salary?
He's making $4 million this year.
He's making $4 million now
after October 1st.
No, the salary is $4 million. The buyout is what goes down.
No, the salary goes down too.
No,
I thought the salary goes back up
if they reach the metrics. The salary is $4 million.
I thought the new contract didn't kick in until October 1st.
The new buyout doesn't kick in until October 1st.
All right. Well, either way,
so
it's a year's salary.
Would he give up $2 million? Would he give up half his salary to play this game in Evanston?
You know what? It's dumb debates day.
Amazing.
It's a dumb debates day. Twofold. One, how much money would you be willing to pay to not play this game in Ireland? Or how far would you be willing to travel? Like, for example, if they could organize this in Nova Scotia, would Frost be okay with going to Nova Scotia or Greenland? I'm trying to think of something, or if they could play it on an aircraft carrier somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic.
A Virgin Island.
or a Virgin Island.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, somewhere in the Caribbean.
Like the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl.
Nice. I Popeyes.
Yeah,
French.
so there's your two questions, Scoffra. Your dumb debate today is how much of your own salary would you give up to get out of playing this game in a foreign country?
I think he would pay $1 million.
You think so? 25% of his salary.
I think he would pay $1 million to not have this game be in Ireland.
He's got a lot of money in the bank. I think
Yes.
that's a fine amount of money.
I think Scott Frost would prefer to play this inside of Northwestern's beautiful lakefront practice bubble.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Imagine
He-
the view.
Much rather do that.
Yeah.
He would much rather do that. I
He
think
he could pitch it to the guys. Hey, you're wondering about the coastal views of Ireland. Hey, we got the coastal views of Lake Michigan.
Yeah. Well, remember there was all those rumors about this game supposedly going to Vegas
that's right.
over the spring and summer. Remember
Yeah.
that stuff?
That was
It's
fun.
going to Vegas. I guarantee it. Okay.
I was all in on that. I was like, let's do this.
That would have been
please.
awesome.
Yes.
That would have been awesome.
How much?
I think $1 million. I think
$1 million bucks?
I think he'd give up $1 million for it. Think about I keep thinking about food. Just like going overseas and having to eat, different food. Athletes are so particular about
that's
what
a
they
weird
eat.
thing to think.
Yeah, but won't they just take their own?
That's a lot of food.
They're going to
You know
tweet
what?
out a
So they're
video
gonna
of
bring
the kids
microwavables?
learning what haggis is.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have some of that garbage.
Boy.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's gonna
Oh,
sit poorly
can
with
you
them.
imagine what the reaction around here would be if we found out Nebraska lost this game because there was a healthy percentage of the team that were grossed out and got sick?
We're
eating
already
haggis?
pissed off because they went and swam in a pool the other day. Did you see the responses to the pool tweet?
No, what?
They went to a pool and people are like, wow, they should be practicing
Hands
in
in the
the
dirt.
pool.
Who's pool?
They went over to like
Did they go to Star City Shores?
They went to Firethorn. They went over to Firethorn and they all swam in the pool.
Firethorn.
Yeah, because they're a country club team.
Bagman.
Yeah.
Nice, because it's the end of fall camp, right?
They
what
went
they're
over
do-
in the pool.
Oh, good lord! I was in the pool.
I was in the pool.
Man, that's weak.
The only thing,
No, the response is not the swimming.
honestly, the only thing I would be upset about is why didn't they just use the Devaney Center pool? They already have a pool.
That's a bad pool. That's very bad pool.
Is
You
it
don't-
the Vandy
Why is
Center
it a bad pool?
It's a
Yeah, that's where the state meet always is.
Yeah, I knew that.
Nebraska does have a swimming team.
I knew that. I thought that they were somewhere else.
No, the pool's in the Devaney Center.
Oh.
yeah, but it has you
It's
have
called the Natorium. Did you
So
know
is it
that?
underneath?
but you have the pool smell. No, it's not in the arena. It's like separate.
see, that's why I was
Yeah.
confused. It's like that movie. Remember where
Okay,
the gym floor opened
know
up
how
and
the
everyone
Devaney
fell
Center
in?
yes,
is.
it's not that. It's
What
not
movie
that.
was that?
The Devaney Center is it's actually a 3-part building.
It's a large building.
The
Josh.
main
I've been
building
there.
is, of course, the arena. You
Yeah,
got the
yeah.
indoor track to the far side, and in the middle, there's a pool.
I had no idea.
and then
Yeah,
connected
that's
to
where-
it, there is a basketball facility.
I knew
True
about,
story.
I knew
Well,
about
yeah,
that.
that's new.
I knew about that.
You didn't know the pool was at the Devaney Center.
I don't think so.
You never went to a state high school swimming meet
How dare you?
or a Nebraska swimming meet?
You ever broadcast one?
No.
I
You're saying
didn't
lots of things. I think the only
I've never been
state-
in the pool room.
only state championships I've ever been to are hoops and football. That's it. I've never been to anything else. Because I never made state championships for cross country as a runner. Sad.
Mm.
Oh no, I've been to track. I've been to track and field. Because I got to take the day off of school if I went and watched. I was like, cool.
Awesome.
I won't go to school today. I'll go watch them run around a little bit.
So here's my question.
Mom,
So
can I leave early?
if people were really triggered that Nebraska wasn't practicing, instead they were in the pool,
I was in the pool.
and I realize he's hurt now, but how many people also tweeted at DeColdest and said, "Oh, how come you weren't practicing instead of shooting this commercial?"
Oh, good lord.
It's like these
Same.
kids
It's the
aren't
same
allowed
person.
to do things besides practice football. You want them practicing 24/7?
Yes.
They need to get better.
This is not fun. The last 5 years have not been
They've
fun.
been
So you're
bad,
not allowed
John.
to have fun either.
Dakota should practice until he gets hurt.
Oh,
wait.
too soon. David says, what kind of food do you people think they have in Ireland?
You people.
Look, they got fish and chips. Those are delicious. It's probably
You
a
can
lot
get
of
those at Long John Silver's. You don't have to fly halfway across the ocean to get it.
other than
pretty
that, it's
normal.
probably a lot of is it though? Like bangers and mash? Like you see their breakfasts? No, thank you. It looks gross.
What?
Look at
Sausage, egg?
Ireland breakfast. It looks nasty. They got beans for breakfast.
I
Beans?
did see the beans for breakfast
beans.
thing. Yeah. Yeah.
You saying bees?
I don't want beans in the breakfast. So you could just
no.
ask him to take the beans out.
Well, you don't
Yeah.
have to have
Yeah.
the beans.
I'll have no beans, please.
Yes.
But sir, that's all we have.
All right, so the typical
This is Ireland.
all full Irish breakfast includes some or all of the following: bacon, sausages,
yum.
baked beans,
No.
eggs, mushrooms, grilled tomatoes, and perhaps some cooked leftover potatoes made into a hash or a bubble and squeak.
That sounds very
A
normal.
bubble
Except
and
for
Outside-
except for the beans.
It's outside of the beans. It
now
sounds
what's
like
a normal Irish dinner? It's a normal Irish dinner.
What would it say for normal American dinner?
Burgers, brats,
Fries.
pizza.
Typical American dinner.
Very,
American
very
dinner.
stereotypical.
Here we go. Here are some of the most common.
Okay. Pizza.
Spaghetti.
Oh, that's a good one. Fettuccine
Steak.
Well, okay. This is different because it's side dishes. So it doesn't
coleslaw. That ain't a part of my normal
it
dinner.
doesn't have the whole thing.
Throw it in the trash.
All right, so yeah.
Bad take.
Yeah, see, it doesn't have a typical one because it literally has all the options.
Oh, okay.
Your main course options, then your side dish options.
I'm going to type in, what do
then-
they eat in Ireland?
Aaron says that I'm thinking about the Brits. He texts that in.
Yeah, they're weird.
Do they have
Well,
good Tex-Mex?
They're all
Simple.
Is there a Chevy's over here?
We were doing impressions of what Sipple would do in Ireland earlier.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a good bit.
Yeah.
No, I'll be very confused.
You know where I can get an empanada?
Andy says, I remember fans being really upset when Riley canceled practice and got the entire team tickets to the Kendrick Lamar.
That's right.
Right,
That was
yeah.
a
And
huge
then he took a
controversy.
picture with him.
they were so triggered.
See, but
Ah,
that's
they're
because it
so
was
soft.
Riley. Yeah,
Well,
Riley.
exactly.
Riley could be like, hey, I brought the 95 team back to talk to the team, and they find a way to get mad. Why wasn't it the 94 team?
Oh,
though?
why did they have to talk to Aaron Graham again?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't leave Ireland without trying, number 1, soda bread. Number 2,
Yuck.
shellfish.
Okay, I like shellfish.
Normal. Number
Yeah.
3, Irish stew.
Nope.
What happens in Irish stew?
See, Josh hates soups.
I
Out
do.
on soups.
He's
You do
scared.
too, Josh?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is just Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man meme.
I don't
Number
drink. I
f-
don't drink my dinner unless it's alcohol.
Thank you. That's
Oh,
exactly what I
okay,
say.
first of all,
oh, I'm so
stew.
hungry. Let me
First of all,
drink.
good.
Yes,
Soup is good.
Oh
Thank
man, I'm
you.
starving. Let me just get a bowl of something to drink. No,
You chew it. You don't have
Yeah,
to
there's
chew
stuff
this.
in it.
not all of it.
It's
No,
not.
thank you.
You're
it's
not swallowing
not-
stew.
Yeah, you're not just having consomme.
I don't
I
know
mean,
what
there-
that means.
Consomme is like a beef broth.
Oh, okay. Maybe you are.
You could, but
Yeah.
yeah, normally there's like chunks of stuff in it, like vegetables.
You're gonna
and meat.
choke to death if you try to swallow your stew.
Tomato soup?
Yeah, that is
No
yeah.
chunks.
Dude,
chunks.
tomato soup with grilled cheese.
Or you
Yeah,
just have the
it's
grilled
good.
cheese.
I'll
and
have a grilled
fries.
cheese.
Lobster bisque.
I
you
never had
dip
lobster
the
bisque.
grilled cheese in the soup. It's delicious.
I'd rather not. I'd rather put a little bacon
Oh.
on there and have some fries on.
How about
the
a
side.
miso
Well, you
soup
can put
with the
bacon on the
Chinese.
grilled cheese
Like a miso soup.
Never had
Or
miso soup.
hot and sour.
or pho.
pho.
I thought it was
Pho. Pho.
Is it pho? Or
I think they
pho?
call it pho.
I believe it's pho, but let's also just be.
I was going to
very
say we're
careful.
getting
I
really
was
close right
Fuck.
now.
If Severe's
Pho.
listening, he knows because Severe loves pho. Pho
It
is
was
pho.
two- it was two di- We're fine. You said pho, and then I said the other thing. We're okay.
Either
okay,
way,
right? That's
either
okay.
way.
Look, I
it's
got 7
delicious.
seconds if we do mess
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
So
It's unsportsmanlike
too
comment
late
now. No, wait,
Okay.
no, it's still a crossover. How is Happer show? I can't believe what you just said, Happer.
Yeah.
Number 4, Cole Cannon and Champ,
What?
which just looks like egg on top of something.
oh yeah, have a Scottish egg while you're there.
Boxty, boiled bacon and cabbage. Boiled bacon?
Boiled?
Boiled bacon?
Yeah,
Oh,
this
cool,
is-
Irish.
This is not great.
No.
Smoked salmon. That's fine.
Yeah.
They're all
you
gonna
know what
come back
happens to
10
me when I
pounds
eat smoked
later.
salmon?
That's right.
They're gonna be really dehydrated.
What
over there,
happens to
Josh.
you when you eat smoked salmon?
I get food
You
poisoning.
got food
and
poisoning. You got sick.
Yep, because
I don't think that's in every smoked salmon.
It
thing.
was the one I had. Ethan says, so is Josh out on chili? Chili is fine. I don't love it though. If we have chili for dinner, I'm like, cool.
No, thank you.
You were so abused as a
I
child.
was not abused.
I am now.
My parents loved me.
Chili's awesome.
I don't think they did love you.
Well, they
I
did.
Really,
They said I love you. They said it to me, and they showed it.
You
They
know,
they showered me
Hitler
with
said a
gifts.
lot of things
Whoa!
too. Like I won't invade this country.
Why is it
And then
always
3
gotta
weeks
go to
later he
Hitler?
invades another country?
You guys get to Hitler so quick on this show.
Well, I like to take it there just to
He does.
Prove
go
a
Let's
point.
cut out the middleman. Let's
Yeah.
just go
Exactly.
there.
We're
You know, I can
skipping-
respect
We're
that.
skipping all the other tyrants.
Mhm.
We're skipping the Steve Petersons. We're skipping the. We're going right to AH.
Yep.
Right into Dolph.
Old Adolf.
Right into Dolph.
Oh, Dolph. Chili's fine. It's fine.
I'm sure your mom and dad got off the plane with a little paper in the hand and said, "I love you, Josh," just like Neville Chamberlain.
Husker Van, nice. Husker Vandell says, I don't have the energy to argue with John about his atrocious comparison to fish and chips in Ireland versus Long John Silver's. My God.
It's fish and chips. It's fish and fries. That's what it is.
Tough look for the Irish on that one.
Fish and chips are awesome.
No.
Fish and chips are great, but you compared it to
Oh, were
Long
you
John
abused
Silver's.
as a child? How do you not
Yes,
like
I had
fried
to eat fish and chips, and I didn't like it.
Oh, man. I
Ugh.
love fish and chips.
Ugh.
Little
Fish
fried
and chips
fish.
is great.
I'll do the chips. and give me a burger.
I mean, I like burgers too.
So American.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Give me a burger.
Damn right. Give me a burger. There is not a piece of fried cod on this planet that could outdo a good burger.
But sometimes you're craving the fried cod.
No, if you are, then you have problems.
It's a change up to your fastball. You know,
Yeah.
every once in a while,
you know what a
gotta
change
throw
up
the
to my
change up in.
fastball is? A hot dog
And pizza.
and pizza
I do
and
like
tacos
And steak.
and steak
I do like all these things.
and ribs.
And,
See
sometimes-
how they-
and fried cod.
Ugh.
And fried cod.
Can't get any of that in
It's like,
Ireland.
it's like you stick that on the wall and say, one of these things is not like the other. Everyone's saying, get that fried, flaky, dry fish out of
Right.
here.
See, maybe your parents are just bad at cooking cod.
No, Long John Silver's did a fine job, as good as
see,
they
if
could
that's
do.
what you're comparing it to, no wonder you hate it.
I just
Poor
don't
John.
like fish.
I think the food will be great in Ireland. People will have a
I
great
don't.
experience.
I can already
Also-
see the
Yeah, until we
excuses.
look to the sidelines and both Casey and Chubb are.
like
looks
Kate
like
McNown.
looks like pieces of a goat stomach are coming out. Oh, that's because they had haggis last
Here
night.
comes the boiled bacon. It's coming back.
Chubba, more like skinny.
Go down on the field for a Cargill Seed sideline report. What's the latest on O'Shawn? Well,
puking his guts out.
O'Shawn had the boiled bacon and cabbage
Oh.
for breakfast, and it's not agreeing with him right now.
Who's got
Back to you in the booth.
who's
I
got big
don't-
red overreaction that day?
Josh.
Josh,
Scaring me.
this
Josh,
is going to
you're
be awesome. This is gonna
I
be
don't
great.
think this was such a good idea, Greg.
Yeah.
You know, the previous athletic director did
Huge
this.
vomit.
Yeah, I hope that people just start dumping all over Bill Moose.
They will.
And then
They will.
Simple's like, look, he's a good guy.
It'd be awesome right in the middle of the broadcast. That's a huge. Looks like Davison had the bangers and mash.
Oh.
Nebraska comes back from Ireland. They lose. They're all puking on the airplane. And it's just a nonstop Bill Moose trash fest
Like
the
the-
entire week.
Like the flight from hell. The whole inside of the plane is caked with vomit.
And he says, when did Nebraska add brown to their pants? It's the alternate uniform.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why Scott Frost is willing to pay half of his own salary to get out of this game.
At least a share.
At least
At least a share.
Look, I'm going to say it. Happy New
Happy
Year.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
We got
This
there.
crossover is going to sound really good after Nebraska comes back after a 56-3 win.
Remember we were talking about 10 days before the season? What if they lost and puked and crapped their pants?
because they ate the haggis. And
We
the
really
boiled
ran out of
bacon.
stuff to talk about this summer.
Yes, we did. And you said this were the worst 2 weeks of the summer.
All right, guys. See
There
ya.
we go. And on that note, we are off and running on a Dumb Debates Wednesday.
Bye, Hap.
Bye.
Back in a minute on 1620 The Zone.
Join Sharp and Benning this Friday, 6 to 10, when they officially kick off 1620 The Zone's Red Out Week as we begin the countdown to Nebraska football. Presented by Union Bank and Trust. Gary and Damon will be joined by Husker guests and experts to dissect and discuss Nebraska's first game in Ireland and the 2022 season. It's Sharp and Benning's season kickoff roundtable. Presented by Union Bank and Trust, where your money has people. Friday, 6 to 10. On 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
The absolutely gorgeous conditions will continue throughout the second half of your Wednesdays. Temperatures approach the upper 70s and lower 80s for highs. I'm tracking clear skies for tonight with a morning low of 60 degrees. For your Thursday, a bit milder, partly cloudy skies with a high of 85. I'm meteorologist Anthony Copeland for KETV News Watch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
At Sid Dillon Chevrolet, we prioritize you and your vehicle needs. Visit our dealerships to shop inventory or to order your new vehicle. Shop online at SidDillonChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
It is Big Red Friday, August 26th at McDonald's. You'll score a limited edition Husker flag for just $5. You're looking for a good cause? The proceeds benefiting your local Ronald McDonald House. That's a good deal. Those families, they go through enough We want to take the burden off of those families by supporting the Ronald McDonald House. Should a Husker fan like you need a flag? Absolutely. Stop on out. It's Big Red Friday, August 26th at your local McDonald's.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Are you tired of being tracked online? There's a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with the push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Finding the right person for the job isn't easy. Just ask someone who hired a drama coach to be an IT guy.
Yeah, I'm having trouble logging in.
I'm not buying it. Say it again, this time with feeling.
I can't log in?
Come on, man. I want to feel your struggle.
But if you've got an insurance question, you can always count on your local Geico agent. They can bundle your policies, which could save you hundreds.
Now, like your life depends on it.
I can't log in.
Yes, we'll make an actor out of you yet.
For expert help with all your insurance needs, visit geico.com/local today.
The annual Great Plains Colon Cancer Task Force Boxer 500 Run Walk is coming up on Sunday, August 21st at Warner Park and Pavilion. Families are encouraged to put on their favorite pair of boxers and run or walk in the name of fighting back against colon cancer. I'm Crash Davis, and as a survivor, I'm here to tell you about the importance of screening and early detection. It can make a difference between life and death. Find out more and help us at the Boxer 500, where all proceeds stay in Nebraska. Find out more at coloncancertaskforce.org.
Dingman's Mechanical Repair. Service is at the heart of our business. Visit us at dingmansmechanical.com.
This edition of Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone is proudly presented by Union Bank and Trust. The program starts now.
KOZN. Unsportsmanlike conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker Athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO. Don't miss a moment, they'll give you your fix. They're on every day from 2 until 6. Spend your afternoons with John, Josh, and Nick. John, Josh, and Nick. They'll show you what sports talk really is.
Still having fun with that. Hey, it's Dumb Debates Day.
Dumb Debates.
Happy New Year.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker Athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO.
This will make no sense to anybody, but Nikki Joseph tweeted out, it's a team photo of the receivers in practice, and
yeah,
it says they keep getting better, #GBR, and then I just quote tweeted it from the USC account, and then came the Irish breakfast. That won't make sense to anybody but us. We're all in on the inside joke. David correcting us saying haggis is Scottish, not Irish.
Oh, oopsies.
But, I mean, I'm guessing there's a little haggis.
They're all close enough, right? It's the United Kingdom.
Can you have haggis in literally, okay, so literally the first thing, you know how you type in a little search and it does a drop down?
Yeah.
Literally the first thing is, can you have haggis when pregnant? If you have to tweet, can I do this while pregnant? Chances are
the answer is usually no.
You can't.
Yeah. The answer is usually no. Jeffrey with, a compliment, one of the best compliments ever. Mark this as the best crossover. Wow. So not as it only isn't in the best of, it is the best crossover. The best. We got like 2 days worth of crossovers, I think, at this point in time. I think we really need to turn it up here in the last few months of the year.
Yeah, we're gonna have to, that way we have more stuff to pick
if we want
from.
the whole week off, we got to do better. Come on, everybody. Let's keep on our P's and Q's.
Yeah. We'll do our darndest.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do our darndest. Well, welcome everybody. Like I said, Dumb Debates Wednesday. The rest of our starting lineup powered by the referees. John Higgins, weather guard. Bill Riley, the voice of Utah, will join us. The Utes.
Ooh.
No, not the Utes from
like youths.
Yeah,
Youths.
Yeah, it's not
My Cousin Vinny.
Not My Cousin Vinny.
Never saw that movie.
You haven't seen My Cousin Vinny?
It's streaming. We could do it in a movie club.
Holy cow! Really?
I've not seen it. It's my turn next, right? It's on HBO Max.
I can't believe that.
Is that the one where what's her name won Best Actress? Yeah, Marissa Tomei, right?
Yeah.
All right. It looks like it's on.
And then it was all kind of downhill from there.
It can't be on Disney Plus, can it? That'd be funny.
No, it's on HBO.
HBO.
Yeah,
Okay.
HBO Max.
You know what? I think that might be my movie for next week.
Wow, I can't believe you've never seen it. Well, anyway, Bill Riley will join us to
Nice.
talk of Utes, not youths, at 3:15. Mike Schaefer will be along later, and it is at Dumb's Debates Wednesday with Mitch Holthus squeezed somewhere in between.
Awesome.
Usually at 4:30.
Awesome.
Craig, with a logical question into the Equitable Bank inbox at john@1620thezone.com. Why is Frost worried about the travel to Ireland? It's not like Northwestern doesn't have to deal with the same issues of the trip. Yes, that's true. But I am told that when you have copious amounts of Chicago-style pizza, it deflects the negative effects from the Irish breakfast.
Yeah.
So
Well,
they're
plus-
just a little, and it's a strong Irish town, so they're a little more immune to it, and they're a whole hour closer.
Yeah, that's true. They're used to it. They're used to it. Here's the other thing, and I'll give a serious answer. Pat Fitzgerald's not on the hot seat. Scott Frost is, and as many people pointed out, like Nebraska in the Frost era has like very rarely had a normal start to the season. They played a power opponent in all but one of the openers, and that one time they didn't play a power opponent was South Alabama, and that game didn't really go that well, even though they won.
Well,
They had the rain out in 2018.
Yeah, let's think about
COVID
this.
2020, and then last year.
And I don't mean to feed into the beast because a lot of people have used this as excuses, but the openers under Scoffraw have been bizarre. You mentioned the rain out.
Yeah, so they literally lost out on the opener versus Akron. And then they had to play Colorado.
In 2019,
it was
South Alabama, and just that was not a great game.
Yep.
But that was the most normally scheduled game.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Then you had COVID year, Ohio State.
Yeah.
And then last year, originally scheduled for Ireland.
Then gets moved stateside.
But then gets moved to Illinois. Brutally hot day.
Yeah. And they're opening against a Division Power 5 conference.
And now, once again, let's face it, back in the halcyon days of TO, you always got a nice North Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Now, occasionally you would have the kickoff classics with the Texas
West
A&Ms
Virginia.
and the West Virginias and the Penn States.
Bring back Pacific.
Yes. Bring them back from the dead.
I don't know if you all noticed this. Very shrewd bit of scheduling on TO's part. But every time Nebraska played in a kickoff classic, they had a very senior-laden, experienced team. It was never in a rebuilding year. The very first kickoff
Because
classic.
they didn't rebuild, they reloaded.
The very first kickoff classic, 1983.
Oh, that was the bad Penn State team.
That's after all of the Black Ledges and the Kurt Warner and all those guys were gone. And they were rebuilding. Meanwhile, Nebraska literally had everybody back except Dave Remington. And
they won
and
44-6.
didn't even play well and won 44-6.
They didn't play well?
No, they did not play. They weren't. I mean, Rozier didn't have 100. That was the only game that year he didn't have 100 yards.
Scoring explosion.
They
were good.
Then you fast forward, they played A&M in 1988.
I don't know anything about this one.
But in 1988, Steve Taylor was starting his third year as quarterback.
All-American that year, right?
And you had Broderick.
Keys.
And very experienced.
They won the
really
they
good
won the
team,
Big
and
Eight.
they were a preseason top 5 team.
Yeah. And then
And then the kickoff classic in 94, Tommy Frazier, third year starter.
Yeah.
Lawrence Phillips.
That was a super. Look at the defense.
We all know the
Super
90.
veteran.
We all know the 94
And
team.
that West Virginia team was worse than the one before. Remember the 93 West Virginia team was really good. 94
Yeah,
not so
and
much.
that's why they matched them up because those were the the two undefeated teams going into that week of the bowls because West Virginia played Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
Right.
Lost,
No. Orange Bowl,
Fiesta Bowl. Let's look it up. 1993 West Virginia.
Sugar Bowl loss
Thank
for
you.
West Virginia.
That was their only loss.
Yeah,
they were undefeated.
I mean,
so could they
Nebraska?
if they win, Nebraska lost to Florida State, would West Virginia have gotten enough votes?
No.
Yeah, makes sense.
They
lost 41-7, by the way. So it wasn't
and that
close.
was to Florida.
Florida.
I said Notre Dame, and that's not an SEC.
Yeah, what
team
happened to
yet.
this '93 Notre Dame team?
But yeah, so every time Nebraska had an unorthodox, if you will, season opener, it was shrewdly timed.
Yeah.
Well, this one, I mean, Nebraska's going through buku changes.
People forget.
And so, we joke about, Scott Frost not wanting to go over there, but let's face it, in a season like this, I don't know if I would want to open my season, A, against a conference opponent, and B, 7 hours away from home.
Mm-hmm. And then JD says, let's not pretend that the Power 5 openers that Nebraska played were world beaters. Colorado and Illinois, now Northwestern. Yes, Ohio State, I'll give you that, but there are plenty of Group of 5 teams better than those 3. Look, I agree. This is me not making excuses. I'm just explaining why they – look, listen to how they talk about this game. It is so obvious that they do not want to go. Now, am I also going off of what I hear from inside? Yes. They don't want to be there. They don't. But they've been very shrewd in just not mentioning any of that.
Sure.
They're not making any excuses. But they do not want to play in Ireland. They would much rather play in America.
You'd much rather do what Oklahoma's done. Oklahoma's starting with who was the first opponent again?
Was it UTEP?
UTEP.
Yeah. Oh, for
UTEP
sure.
and Kent State.
They got
at
2
home.
games versus G5 teams.
You wanna ease into that.
Much rather have
thing.
North Dakota to start.
I mean, think about it, Josh. If
Georgia Southern,
if this game were normally placed, Northwestern, it was
So
normally
like
placed, so it'd be
October?
in October in Evanston. Then Nebraska has a chance to kind of ease into the season with North Dakota and Georgia Southern, which is what a lot of Nebraska teams did over the years. Just kind of until you get to that first big one, so you have a chance to work some kinks out. You're going to be working kinks out against another a division foe, 7 hours away, earlier than you normally start. That's all. And again, not an excuse. They'll go. They'll play the game. They'll
be vomiting on the field.
Don't eat the Irish breakfast.
Oh yes.
If you have to have an Irish breakfast, do as I did this morning. Get yourself a bowl of Lucky Charms.
I was just going to say fruit. I think fruit is always a fine way to start the day. I know how my stomach reacts to it. Like today, now you would not like it. I cantaloupe for breakfast today. Most days I usually have bananas, though. I'll have a banana for breakfast.
Sure.
Yeah. Chris in Montana says, I've spent extensive time in both Scotland and Ireland. Haggis is common in Scotland, but they call it blood pudding in the UK. And Ireland, it has the same type of things that haggis had, but it's in a sausage patty type thing. Speaking of the UK, Husker fan Dallas says, might be a good time to remind people that Ireland is not a part of the UK. Northern Ireland is. The Republic of Ireland is its own independent nation, has been for 100 years. Yeah, that's right. There's a lot of rivalries over there. That's why you don't go order an Irish car bomb. Don't do that.
Yeah, there's
Nick Bott told a story recently about how his wife did that over there.
Yeah.
And they were like, whoa, buddy, what are you trying to do?
Yeah, see, back when I was growing up, there was a lot of terrorism that happened over there.
Oh, yeah.
The Irish versus the Northern Ireland.
I read a book about it a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Bad times.
So
very bad times.
Now, you don't have to worry about that today. But, yeah. But, it's a good point.
Yeah.
I've said whatever score I have in my head for this game, I'm docking
10 points for vomit.
I'm docking 7 points. Because I think Northwestern, just because of their organization and their consistency, will handle the travel better than Nebraska. Doesn't mean Nebraska's going to lose. I just, if you had to pick a side,
many sides,
and say, hey, which of these two organizations is going to handle the disarray that happens anytime you travel abroad, which of these organizations is going to handle it better? I would answer Northwestern.
Yeah. I know I'm against it. I would like to answer this question, and maybe at some point in time. Mark says, why did Moose, other than dollars, insist on rescheduling this game? Illinois is more than happy to move on and play a game stateside this year. They had the perfect out last year. It just makes no sense playing this game in Ireland. Great question. I've been wondering that for a while, too.
I don't know.
Great question.
I don't know.
Yeah, indeed.
Dundee Day's coming up. 100 vendor booths, 5K run, not featuring Josh Peters.
Sorry.
He won't be pacing the field. But there's also a full evening of local food and drink with nonstop live music from 4 to 12. That's Dundee night. For more information on Dundee Day, visit 1620thezone.com. We will be back and have more in just a moment.
You could win $5,000 to have the ultimate tailgate party on 1620 The Zone. Enter now at 1620thezone.com.
Summer is here, and if you have a gotta get it done this year project, trust the official exterior experts of the Huskers, J-Tech Construction. Call them for a free estimate on roofing, siding, windows, or even solar. They're close by with 3 locations in Nebraska, including Lincoln, Grand Island, and Omaha. Need financing? J-Tech offers 0% interest for 60 months. Call 402-261-3682 or go online to yourexteriorexperts.com. J-Tech Construction, Nebraska's exterior expert.
Hello, I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. If you've been dissatisfied with your current banking situation, maybe it's time to move to a bank that works to deserve your business. We have an engaged staff that offers exceptional personalized service. We also have a great digital banking platform. We have 2 locations at 108th and Dodge or 202nd and Pacific. So if you're looking for a superior banking relationship, give us a call at 402-827-8100. We'll answer on the first ring. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
It's your time for higher education, not higher debt. And it all starts with a scholarship application to Metropolitan Community College. Every year, MCC awards more than $3 million in scholarships to students. In less than 5 minutes with a single application, you can apply for all the scholarships available to you. It's your time to path forward. Let MCC show you the way. Register today. Classes start September 6th. Apply today at mccneb.edu/scholarships.
Want to know what makes 42 Degrees the source for Kratom, CBD, Delta, and a whole lot more that might be helpful with sore muscles, aching joints, and other ailments? Then stop by any 42 Degree location, talk with the most knowledgeable and friendly staff, and see what Kratom, CBD, and Delta can do for you. Want to know more? Then go to our website, 42degrees.com, and see what our customers say about our staff. 42 Degrees, your source for all your needs. By your mom's house.
French food, and not just small portions and high prices. Le Voltaire is anything but. Come visit Omaha's own little corner of France for mouth-watering appetizers and entrees, plus melt-in-your-mouth desserts. Dinner with friends, special occasions, entertaining clients, or just chilling with French wines and craft cocktails with your favorite someone. Le Voltaire will make you feel right at home, just like they've been doing for more than 2 decades. Le Voltaire just off 156th and West Dodge Road in the Pepperwood Village and at LeVoltaireOmaha.com.
After 24 years, Horseman's Park will close for major renovations on Sunday, September 18th. The original simulcast facility will be changed forever, so don't miss this final opportunity to watch and wager on over 700 TVs with weekly food and drink specials, door prizes, and so much more. Time is running out to be a part of Nebraska's horse racing history. Now through September 18th, open 7 days a week. Horseman's Park, Omaha's best bet.
Being in business 100 years can't be easy. Rotella's Bakery is that business. Great family-owned and operated business that understands the needs of the community. They specialize in breads and rolls made from the highest quality ingredients, ensuring that they are superior in taste. At Rotella's, with 5 great generations represented, the American success story is combined with customer satisfaction, and they don't compromise in quality. For more information about their specialty breads, you can visit rotellasbakery.com.
This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
A bunch of redneck idiots.
On 1620 The Zone.
Oh, great. Now I'm in trouble.
What happened now? Did you offend the Irish?
No, I offended someone much more powerful.
Your wife?
Yep.
My wife? What'd she say?
Well, I mentioned Lucky Charms a moment ago.
Oh, no.
Well, I have chosen 2 days out of the week as my fasting days, right?
You're fasting?
Light, very light eating, right?
Oh, like the intermittent thing?
Yeah. And on those days, I will have a bowl of cereal. for breakfast, and then you have an energy bar for lunch.
I feel bad. I brought in a lot of lunch today.
No, you're fine. I'm fine.
Okay.
Because I had some Lucky Charms this morning.
That's true.
There were Lucky Charms up there.
Nice.
And I
what's wrong?
I get the negative email. My son bought those, thinking that no one else likes them. Hey, come on! How do you not know me by now?
Lucky Charms are awesome.
I love Lucky Charms. And then Lucky Charms should not be on your diet, especially when there are healthy alternatives available that you had me buy. And I did.
Oh, like
we
Raisin Bran?
Well, we do have some Raisin Bran.
Yeah.
We have some Wheaties. I like Wheaties.
Wheaties are fine.
And I have some grape nuts.
I want frosted Wheaties, but not the regular Wheaties.
No, but
you do it with the regular milk, or you got a little skim action in there?
We always do 1%.
1% milk.
So yeah, now I'm in trouble.
Well,
it was just a bowl.
Just one bowl. It's just a few calories.
Actually, I believe the calories in a bowl of Lucky Charms are the same as in a bowl of Wheaties.
Healthy. There you go. Very healthy.
Yeah. And there's grain in there. Plenty. I mean, sure, there's the sweetness, but
you got a little sugar in there.
They're delicious. They're marshmallows.
You'll be fine. Do an extra 30 minutes on the walk tonight. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm fasting today. It's all I've had.
Great weather again tonight.
That's all I've had.
Yeah, indeed.
You gotta love it when. God bless the Red Sea Scrolls. I mean, sometimes these folks remind me that, and granted, there's been a lot of things that's happened in this country over the last 6 years. That
interesting date to start with.
That there's a lot of craziness in the world, but the the OC of the crazies are the folks who patrol the scrolls.
Oh yeah,
and I saw this today on the post. Got it sent to us in the J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Run the damn ball.
That's the username?
That's the username. Run the damn ball 32.
Hell yeah.
Apparently a big O.J. Simpson fan. Well, he is a crazy. Might seem like a silly question. However, what happens to Frost if Northwestern were to upset Nebraska and Ireland? I feel like this is arguably the most important game we've had in the past 4 years. And if we lose this game, then what's the point of even keeping him the rest of the season?
Whoa!
Should an assistant take over for the rest of the year?
Whoa! After one loss?
One loss. And yeah, it's a big game. We know that it's like last year's Illinois game. It could certainly set the table, good and bad. But yeah, I don't.
Firing after one game?
First of all, yeah, you're not going to do that because the buyout doesn't change until October 1st.
You and I are in agreement. They're not firing him in season. But if they
were
going to, they'd wait until October. There's no reason to fire him in August, let alone September.
The only way
let it play out.
The only way he gets fired in season is if there's a scandal.
I would say if they're 0-5 after the Indiana game, they might just be like, okay, let's.
Well, I'm trying to think of more plausible things than 0-5.
Fair. No, that's a good point. 2-3.
Granted, I'm not saying a scandal is more likely than an 0-5 start, but I'll rate it slightly above an 0-5 start.
Because
an 0-5 start is not happening.
Plus, I would say this:
if not happening, put that on the list.
0-5 start is not happening.
0-5 is not happening.
Man,
run the parlay generator on that. You could probably
you'd get so much money back.
100,000 to 1.
Yeah, I was going to say a $10 bet, you'd probably get into the millions because we're talking about upset wins by 4 touchdown underdogs, a 13-point underdog.
Yeah, that's not happening.
That's not happening.
Not happening.
Yeah, and here's what I would say. I'd be critical of Trev, and I think you would too. What's the point of firing a guy after the opener? You torpedo your whole season kind of for no reason.
Yeah.
It's like just fire him after last year if that's what you're going to do. All right, August 17th, John Bishop says Nebraska will not start.
This is called going out on a limb, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. I'm going out on a limb.
Josh, I think you need to whip up one of your graphics for this one. John Bishop says Nebraska.
I'll take a look.
Yeah, not going 0-5. Wow.
Well, speaking of that, got a nice email from a friend of the program down in Kansas City that I want to get to next. Also, I've been meaning to get to this. You've been meaning to get this even when I was on vacation.
I've had it for a week and a half.
Yeah. Where some of Nebraska's position groups are ranking. And also, if you haven't seen it yet, a very it's humorous, but it's also dead on balls accurate.
Oh.
Column on The Ringer today regarding the cliches of training camp.
Yes.
Now, it was written mostly from an NFL perspective, but literally as I'm reading this, I'm like, I've heard this for years.
That fits.
It all fits.
Yeah.
That, and we're going to talk Utah Utes football with the voice of the Utes, Bill Riley, coming up in 25 teams in 25 days. All of that straight ahead here on Unsportsmanlike Conduct in 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Kugler Vision. Fall means outdoor activities. Don't miss a moment this fall. Head over to their website today, kuglervision.com, and schedule a consultation. Low monthly payments are available, kuglervision.com.
Your neighborhood is more than blocks of buildings. It's the people who live there that make it special. At Union Bank and Trust, we're not just creating home loans, we're making neighbors. We're not just small business lenders, we're small business shoppers. We don't just live in your community, we help you build it. Because our people are your people. Visit ubt.com/neighbor to learn more. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Shingles add beauty, protection, and value to your home. You want Certainteed Shingles. Carp's Complete Home Exteriors is a certified Certainteed Shingle Master. When it comes to your roof, Certainteed Shingles and Carp's have you covered. Online at carpsomaha.com.
You want to go to a professional sporting event, you want to go to a college sporting event, you want to go to a play, you want to go to a concert. Go where I go, ticketsforless.com. When I'm looking to find the best seats to the show or the big game, I go to ticketsforless.com, formerly Ticket Express. Same great customer service, and most importantly, with ticketsforless.com, no outrageous ticket fees when you get ready to check out. The ticket price you see is always the price you pay. Unlike the other guys, they don't tack on a per-ticket service fee at checkout. It's ticketsforless.com. Get yourself in the game today.
It happens every day, and homeowners are victims every time, unless they call us. Hi, this is Garen Armstrong with Shamrock Roofing. Recently, a local homeowner with an aging roof had two well-known roofing companies out. Neither found hail damage for an insurance claim, but both happily submitted bids for a new roof. Then the homeowner called Shamrock Roofing. We found significant hail damage and sat with the homeowner when he filed his claim. We were there again when the insurance adjuster came out. And when the insurance company tried to deny the claim, the homeowner appealed with his evidence from Shamrock. The insurance company then approved the full claim for a new roof. Shamrock Roofing helped the homeowner get his roof when the other roofing companies could not. That is exactly why we say call Shamrock Roofing first, especially if you're wondering about possible wind or hail damage. If you have it, we'll find it. One call does it all. Call Shamrock Roofing today or find us online at shamrockroofer.com.
Timber Creek Pizza Pub and Grill serves pizza with an unforgettable pizza sauce and fresh ingredients in unique combinations of bold flavors. Try customer favorites like 3 Oinks and a Moo, the Mountain Man, or the Upset Grizzly Bear. Plus, there are daily specials and menu items like tacos, salads, wings, and burgers. Stop in and check out Timber Creek's family-friendly dining environment while enjoying a popular adult beverage. Timber Creek Pizza Pub and Grill at 178th and Harrison and at timbercreekpizzaomaha.com.
This is Darcy with Dingman's Collision Center. We have run our business for years by helping the vehicle owner retain the value of their vehicle by working for them with warranted, safe, high-standard repairs. For this reason, Omaha vehicle owners have chosen Dingman's to repair their vehicles. Your loyalty has been shown through repeat business and amazing referrals. You've also voted us first place Best of Omaha for the past 17 years. We want to say thank you for choosing the Dingman family and our incredible technicians to repair your vehicles. At Dingman's, we'd rather be the best than apologize for anything less.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
Thanks to Ace Graphics producer Josh. Yep, they're not going 0-5. I guarantee it. And when it happens, after Nebraska wins their first game, whenever it is, and it could be right out of the chute, you're going to get that iconic photo of me running back through the tunnel with my one finger wagging in the air. Not that finger, this finger here, the index finger, wagging in the air. So just want you all to know that Nebraska's not going 0-5.
Couple responses real quick to that discussion. First, an email into the Equitable Bank inbox from Johnny says, there's no way Nebraska will fire Frost before October 1st. The buyout is cut in half after then, but he very well may be fired on October 2nd when they are 2-3. And along those lines, JD disagrees with us. They would need to fire him in season. Look at your roster makeup. And you already has mortgaged the future for this year. You need a strong recruiting class. If you wait till November, the class falls apart. And with early signing day, you might mortgage more than 1 year.
You got that thing called the transfer portal, which I do wonder, and from a college football perspective, how much that is going to impact, because that mindset has been there. Hey, we got to think about saving that class. We got to think about saving that recruiting class.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's almost like a rush to fire a coach who's obviously not going to work. Do you necessarily need to do that in the era of the transfer portal? When you could literally pick, I mean, you're picking up guys. Nebraska picked up maybe its most important transfer portal addition after spring. It's unlimited free agency. And you can pick as long
with
as
the roster, what you can do.
As long as they're able to, practice with you in the fall. And hell, with Devin Drew, he can start 2 weeks late and still be ready for the beginning of the season. If you get the right guy with the transfer portal, I wonder how that might change some of the mindset. Now,
also,
that's not to say that I'm not saying that the midseason firings are a thing of the past, but I don't think it's as urgent.
Well, I mean, last year, can I disagree with you? Because last year, when did we find out that O was getting fired? Dan Mullen was getting fired. There were a few guys.
Right, but that's
USC,
really
Clay Helton got fired early.
But that was really before. I mean, this offseason was the most active we've ever seen the portal.
I would agree.
Where we've seen peak. I won't say peak portal, but it's
because the
portal usage this offseason was far greater than it was last offseason. I mean, look at all the teams we've talked to in 25 teams and the numbers. Over a dozen new players.
And it probably will increase even more.
With Nebraska alone, BC, Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7, projected the 2 deep on offense, including the place kicker. And not saying that his 2 deep is the gospel, but if it's accurate, there's 9 guys. Out of this year.
Out of 22?
9 guys. Woo. Well, it's more than 22 because there's a couple of oars in there.
Okay.
But you have 9 players who just transferred in, who are going to be part of the offensive 2 deep. We're not even talking defense yet. But hell, on the defensive side, you're going to have O'Shawn, Tommy Hill, Omar Brown. And I know.
Are you doing 2 deep right now?
Yeah.
Devin Drew, Stephon Wynn.
Devin Drew, Stephon Wynn. There's 5.
Yeah.
And then you're counting Steve Buscemi, the new punter. There's 6.
Yep.
There's 5 right there. There's 15
right there.
That's pretty much all of them, isn't it? Am I missing a transfer? And yes, I am including Anthony Grant because he's a JUCO transfer.
Yeah.
But even if you took him off the list,
did you say Bleak Road?
Yeah, but that he was on. He was on the list, but it's a lot, and it's happening everywhere.
Yeah.
So my point is, you may not have to, if you think you have to make a move, necessarily lose somebody, unless you've just got a rock star recruiting class that you're absolutely married to. But remember,
they don't have a rock star class right now.
But remember, even if you do, or even if you don't, anytime you make a coaching change, you're going to lose a percentage of your recruits, period. You just are. So the transfer portal kind of changes that whole mindset.
Phil wants to know, if you're wrong about the 0-5 thing, do you have to do overreaction for the rest of the year? I think that's a fine bet to make, John.
I couldn't do it for the rest of the year because there are a couple of games where I have Creighton obligations.
Bummer. I think you deserve to do it for the rest of the year, though. If they start 0-5, you deserve it.
So what do I get when they don't go 0-5?
Nothing, because they're not going to go 0-5.
I will take that bet. If they go 0-5, I will do all of the Big Red overreactions.
So who's doing the Creighton game?
But
Happer,
if they don't
Connor
go,
Happer, your
if
new
they
voice.
don't go 0-5, then Josh has to do all the Big Red overreactions.
I can't see. I got things to do too. I got things to do. I'll be out of town the very next week. First of all, I can't do that.
It's only fair. I should get rewarded for my boldness. To the email bag, Equitable Bank inbox. At Equitable, we take banking personally. Answer the phone on the first ring. EquitableOnline.com. John in KCK. That'd be Kansas City, Kansas. First of all, says he's been a longtime listener, probably between 7 and 9 years. And in my opinion, you guys have the best mix of on-air chemistry and Husker content around. Why, thank you.
Wow, thank you.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very, very nice.
He kept complimenting us.
He kept
We're not
complimenting us. I'm not
Like
gonna
literally, there are 2 or 3 paragraphs of compliments.
I would like to, but
Yeah.
you know.
I reread them like 2 or 3 times.
I'm done patting myself on the back.
What an email.
Said Damon and Ravi recently were having a great discussion, and it led me to this thought. If Frost can really keep from meddling with whips, in-game play calling, can you make a case that the most important firing of the offseason was Frost as offensive coordinator? I think I can. As much as I like the new coaches, and I like them all a lot, more than the previous offensive staff, this season has a much better chance to be a success because Frost is going to have less of a say on play calling. And he should be able to lead and mentor his coaches in a ton of other areas where he had minimal impact the first 4 years. This could be huge. That's from John and KCK.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's already been, we didn't have him on the program, but friend of the program, Mitch Sherman, was recently doing the Doc Talk podcast with Dr. Rob Zadiska.
And he was on with Happer today.
And he kind of quipped that, you know, in the open sessions so far at media practice, there's been a high observation of Frost spending time with the offensive line.
Yeah.
And that the quip is that Frost is actually the new offensive line coach, and Donnie, a.k.a.
Donnie R.
Donovan Raiola, is like the assistant offensive line coach.
Yeah.
Now, of course, in title, that is not true. But you do wonder if Frost is spending more time with the offensive line, not dissimilar from when Nebraska was having some struggles mid-Bill Callahan. Billy C., who is an offensive line guy by trade, would go over and help out Dennis Wagner. And so really to the point that John is making, this does free Frost up if there are avenues or there are positions or there are departments within the whole that might be struggling a bit, could use an extra pair of eyes, could use an extra pair of hands. Frost now can be that guy because Whips is running the show on the offensive side.
Yeah, and you know, Sam McEwen, I don't know, you were on vacation. Did you have a chance to read his rewind over the weekend? Because the hypothesis that Sam kind of presents in that, and he said this on the Pick Six podcast last week too, was if the offensive line fails, Sam McEwen, in putting that on Scott Frost, not putting it on Donovan Raiola, because, you know, for a variety of reasons, but one is, you know, so inexperienced. But it may now in hindsight, I read that and I think, has Sam heard the same thing from his sources that Mitch has from his, that it seems like Frost is really hands-on with the offensive line? And I think that that's a pretty interesting idea. What's one of the kind of constant discussion points of the last 8 months? If your back is against the wall, how would you handle that last chance? You would want to go down your own way.
And haven't we prophesized in the past that if you know, hey, my rear end's on the line here, and we know that offense has been his baby, the temptation to take back some of that control, or, you know, you want as much control as possible. If the plane is going down and you think you're the best pilot on the aircraft, you're grabbing the yoke and you're going to pilot that plane. Well, we've been thinking about it from a offensive play calling standpoint. But when you hear how Frost has discussed the offensive line and how much he has talked up Donovan Raiola.
Mm-hmm.
Frost, in my opinion, has identified this is why we fail. It's because we're not getting what I believe we need to have on the offensive line. And so he is going to take the plane that is quote unquote crashing because the offensive line isn't doing its part to keep the plane in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's gonna focus his energies on, all right, I'm gonna let whips and chins grab the yoke. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go to the back of the plane and try to figure out why the flaps aren't working. The flaps representing the offensive line. And so maybe that is where he is really zeroed in his focus and his energies right now, because he believes, as well he should, and I don't think this is a flawed idea, by the way. I think a great offensive line masks a lot of problems on a football team. If you have an average quarterback, a great offensive line gives him more time to make good decisions. Great offensive line makes average running backs look like good running backs. A great offensive line allows you to burn clock, keep the ball longer, and saves a beleaguered defense. I believe the offensive line can do more to mask issues on a football team than any other position group out there. And I think that's what Frost is now focused on. But this is it. This is the thing. He's put his finger on it and said, this is what we need to fix.
So you're right. Sam's right. Mitch Sherman's right. He is kind of doing that. Are we sure that's good? Because we always say that,
well, then where is it bad? I guess it would be my counter to that.
His offense has struggled. Like, why are we assuming that him putting his fingerprints on anything is a good thing, just given the struggles of the program over the last few years? A very unorganized program, very disheveled program. So why is him focusing on this group good for the offensive line when him focusing on the team at large?
Yeah, and I want to make it clear. I'm not making it sound like, Frost has literally shoved all of his other responsibilities off the desk and said, I'm only focused on the offensive line.
Guys, I'm actually
we have a game in Ireland next week. Who tells me about these things?
Whips, where are you? But I mean, I'm just saying.
Chins, did you buy the plane tickets?
In all seriousness, like, why is this good? Why would it be good? Or are we sure it's good? Maybe that's why I'll ask it, because I don't want to come across that it's automatically negative, but are we sure that it will be okay? Just given, again, the struggles of the program.
You know what? We can't be. Yeah. We can't be. This is different than when Bill Callahan would go help Dennis Wagner.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was Bill Callahan's, he was an offensive line guy. This isn't necessarily Frost's, his master's thesis was on offensive line play. But again, as a football coach and an offensive coach, the importance of it.
Definitely.
And so it's not so much that, he's taking the lead in all the meetings and he's doing this and he's doing that, but he's helping out.
Mm-hmm.
They're putting more focus on it. And can it be a detriment? I suppose.
I mean,
if it doesn't work out, but let's look at the situation right now. He has entrusted his defensive operation to Chins, and the defense has improved every year.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, dude, the ball is yours. If he has done the same thing with whips,
we need to stop this. We need to stop this.
I only wish that Eric Chenander's last name was Chainander, so we could call him Whips and Chains.
But we don't kink shame on the show.
But Mark Whipple,
the BDSM boys,
Marcus Whipple. I have to be formal here. If he has truly entrusted him, hey,
mm-hmm.
the play calling is yours, the offensive play design is yours, fine. And he's just helping in this one area. And to me, it shows trust, and it can be a good thing.
A Shank Pig Appreciation Club. So Frost hired his own John Papuchis. What could go wrong here?
Honestly,
Papuchis.
Okay, but when this hire was made,
which one?
The Raiola hire was made. That's literally the first name that came into my head.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was the John Papuchis.
It was the John Papuchis hire.
Yeah.
Because we all knew who was really running the show. Now, I don't know again, I still believe that, Raiola's running the meetings. He's running the department. It's just Frost is over there maybe being a little bit more hands-on than he is with everybody else. It's like, you turn over the class to the substitute teacher, but you're still kind of standing there in the background making sure that everything's running just fine. And you occasionally will pipe in or if one of the students is having a problem, the rest of the class, and
you're discussing a good principle, though.
I am discussing a good principle.
Chuck says, we still need to remember Frost led a team to 13-0 at a program that was 0-12 2 seasons prior. Yes, he struggled here at Nebraska, but he has talent at coaching. Look, I'm not saying he doesn't, but I also don't want to just assume that, head coach is helping out with the offensive line. That can only mean good things. And I know that's not what you're saying. He has a track record at Nebraska. That track record is bad.
Yeah.
It is. What you're describing, Tom Osborne. Tom Osborne decides to toy around with something on the football program. Bill Belichick, I'm all for it because I know that those guys are good. They're great all-time coaches, and they're able to take on a lot. Scott Frost has to prove that he can just take over, help. And again, we're kind of going off of, what people are hearing right now, but that's why I asked the question. Are we sure it's good? Are we sure it's good?
The answer will be forthcoming in about 10 days.
It will indeed.
Or at least part of the answer will be forthcoming in about 10 days, provided they don't have the boiled bacon and cabbage.
Yeah.
If they have the boiled bacon and cabbage, all bets are off.
I thought it was an interesting idea from Sam. When I first heard him say it last week, and then he wrote about it over the weekend. In a way, I kind of like it. It takes some of the pressure, if you will, off of Raiola. Because look, of course he's got to accept the job. It's an incredible opportunity for him. But are we to expect in the most important year for Scott Frost yet that like the biggest difference between, getting where they want to be and where they've been is going to be a first-time, full-time head, offensive line coach? That's pretty crazy to think about. And so when you put it that way, it's like, yeah, Frost probably is helping out a good amount with the offensive line. Because it would make sense.
And probably should.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure someone will counter, well, they should have prioritized this hire a little bit more.
I've been saying that since they hired Raiola.
And I agree.
But because you got to this point,
let's face it, one of the strengths of the Osborne regime was every assistant coach was a veteran.
Yeah, by 94, 95, 97, of course.
And
who's the youngest coach on the roster? Turner Gill?
Right.
And how many years of coaching did he have by 94?
Yeah. And when Turner Gill was first hired, Osborne literally went out and hired the best quarterback he had ever had to run his offense, now run his quarterback's room.
Yeah. It made all the sense in the world.
It fit like a glove.
Plus, Tom Osborne was a great quarterback's coach, too. So it was perfect.
It fit like a glove.
Yeah.
And it allowed, Turner to expand and grow. Meanwhile, he knew the receivers were in fine hands with Ron. He knew the offensive line was in good hands with Dan and Milt. He knew the defense and all that was in good hands with Charlie and George Darlington and all of that.
Yeah.
They were. When you can trust those guys, it's
John,
it's
they were
it's an
good.
amazing thing. They were.
I'm going to say it now.
Josh,
get another graphic ready. The 90s Huskers were good.
They were good.
I'm happy. I'm brave enough to say it.
1990 was kind of.
Yeah, they were.
People forget the 90s also included the year 1990. 1990,
Yeah, that's why some people think Florida State is a team of the 90s. That said, those people are wrong.
I think, did Nebraska play Utah in 1990? I know they played Utah in the 80s.
Didn't they play Utah State in 19?
They played them too.
Yeah.
They didn't play this Utah, and it's probably a good thing because this
Utah's awesome.
This Utah is number 8. And they are coming up next in 25 teams in 25 days. Bill Riley, the voice of the Utes, joins us next here on Unsportsmanlike Conduct in 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show.
I am sick of the YouTube and TikTok people doing pranks on everybody. I really am. You see them pop up on YouTube all the time and they start asking people stuff or they prank people and they're like, no, it's just a joke. Or they're like throw something over their heads or something like that. You might think that's funny. That's not funny. Get off my lawn.
The Connor Happer Show. Weekdays from 10 to 2 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly sunny and very pleasant into the evening with the temperatures in the lower 80s. Skies should stay mostly clear for tonight, drop back to a low near 60. Mostly sunny on Thursday, a little warmer, highs in the mid-80s, then there's a rain chance Thursday evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV News Watch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
Hi guys, it's Andrew. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, today, Wednesday, August 17th, we're running a one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Brookside Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. This is a technology clinically shown to repair blood vessels and improve blood flow. Even Cambridge has studied our technology. If you're ready to transform your love life, grab your phone. Today is your day. Call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. Also, a gift that can produce powerful results in the bedroom in minutes. You're going to love that, guys. And today only, we're offering 6 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This has never been offered before and is worth $1,200, but call today, Wednesday, and qualify totally free. 402-671-7777. That's 402-671-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Brookside Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today. 402-671-7777.
Give your business a whole host of options with Host Coffee. The most impressive selection of office coffee, water options, healthy food options, and vending technologies. Host Coffee, serving you since '72.
The Ford truck lineup is purpose-built from the ground up, designed to be tough and productive. Crafted with high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy body and torture-tested high-strength steel frame with new tech to help you work smart and hard. The F-150, Ranger, and Maverick are built tough and ready to tackle whatever lies ahead. Hit the road in confidence and learn more about Ford trucks in-store or online anytime at WoodhouseFord.com, your trusted truck dealer since 1975. Woodhouse Ford.
Ted Wally's. Squeeze every last bit of flavor out of summer than you can with a spoonful of creamy, delicious Ted Wally's Ultra Premium Ice Cream. If you're in Benson, swing in for pints, quarts, or half gallons of Ted Wally's to take home. Or if you're in the old market, taking your senior photos or maybe just kind of hanging out, slip into Ted Wally's for a tasty treat after the photo session. There's still plenty of summer left. Enjoy it with rich, creamy flavors of Ted Wally's Ultra Premium Ice Cream in Benson, the Old Market, and at tedwallys.com.
Rock and country music's hardest hitters join forces. Five Finger Death Punch. Brantley Gilbert. With special guest Corey Marks. November 30th, CHI Health Center, Omaha. On sale Friday, 10 a.m. at livenation.com. Five Finger Death Punch's new album, Afterlife, out Friday. Five Finger Death Punch and Brantley Gilbert live.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
Roll super mega for your backside. Shake your booty, do the Charmin slide. Super mega make you feel alright. Everybody do the Charmin slide. Long-lasting TP gets everybody going. Leaves booties clean and totally glowing. Shake your booty, do the Charmin slide. Change your roll less and go with pride.
Charmin Super Mega Roll is longer lasting, so you can change the roll less often. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Watching a ball game at Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill is just, well, pretty awesome, actually. And it doesn't matter if you prefer the college dink or the big league crack of the bat. There's nothing better than watching a game with a cold, frosty one, Oscar's Pizza, or award-winning char-buffed wings with Oscar's Thai chili bourbon wing sauce. And with daily lunch and dinner specials, it's really a no-brainer. So get ready to watch your favorite team play ball at Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, 173rd and West Center Road, and takeout at 162nd and Maple.
It's unsportsmanlike conduct. You know, there was some shenanigans going on.
The 1620. The Zone.
Start the countdown to kickoff of the college football season.
Third and goal. Here's Rising. Steps up, throws, end zone! Caught! Touchdown! Theo Howard's got it!
And he's going to try to return it. Long line drive punt by Snee. Covey! Highly effective punt return for a touchdown.
Brown straight back, and it's picked off. It's Lloyd, headed for the end zone. Pick six. Devin Lloyd.
It's Unsportsmanlike Conduct's 25 teams in 25 days.
We have had this conversation before, but the history of teams that have switched conferences in the modern era, post 2000, record has not been great. I mean, obviously, we're all too familiar with Nebraska's struggles in the Big Ten. Colorado, for the most part, in the Pac-12. Texas A&M is starting to come around, but it took some time for them to adjust. But one program really stood out as one that, hey, they actually not only took a step up from a non-Power 5 to a Power 5, but they were really competitive, and that was TCU. Well, in the words of Jedi Master Yoda, there is another. That would be the mighty Utah Utes.
Indeed.
The reigning, defending, undisputed Pac-12 champions, going for back-to-back and maybe just a little bit more. The voice of the Utes is Bill Riley, and he joins us as we preview Utah in 25 teams in 25 days. Bill, thanks for coming on the program.
Josh, John, thank you for having me. How are things in Lincoln?
Not bad. The weather's finally turned around, and we're a little closer to football than you are. We got a game in 10 days.
Yeah, 10 days.
Yeah, we're 17 days away. We get to visit the swamp in Gainesville to open things up, which should be a lot of fun. But, we still got 17 long days before we have football here.
Well, last year, of course, Cam Rising took over early in the season, finished out the last 11 games. Really, he played well. And obviously getting the team to a Pac-12 championship, huge. Last year, the offense was so very balanced. I mean, almost identical running and passing totals. That run offense really helped with the play action game and obviously taking a little pressure off of Cam. But what's the next step now for Cam Rising heading into this highly anticipated year?
Well, probably just more downfield shots. Remember, Cam was coming off major shoulder surgery. He won the job in 2020. And on the 14th play of the season in the weird COVID year, he tore his labrum diving for a loose ball on the turf against USC. So he had to completely rehab a shoulder and then win the job back eventually. Charlie Brewer, who was at Baylor, was here. Cam was probably at about 75 or 80% last year. Super efficient. When he took over, everything took off. He's a leader like you've never seen. He's one of those guys are just drawn to. But he's been in the offense, guys, for 3 years. He knows it as well as Andy Ludwig, the offensive coordinator. 20 touchdowns passing, 5 interceptions, 6 rushing touchdowns, in basically missing 2.5 games to begin the year. He had a really good year, and he was an all-Pac-12 first-team selection last year. The next iteration of this offense, they're always going to be balanced. As long as Kyle Whittingham and Andy Ludwig are here, it's a winning formula. Guys, you run for 210 yards a game and you pass for 230 yards a game. That's hard to defend. It really is. And they were so balanced a year ago. The next iteration is taking a few more, downfield shots. Instead of having a bunch of 8 and 9 play drives, it's always nice to have a couple of 2 or 3 play drives as well. They've got some guys to do it. Rising's arm's as strong as it's ever been. They've even talked about it in fall camp. Whittingham has said he said we got to be more explosive in the pass game. So we'll see if that's the next step. But as you said, the offense was terrific last year. But if they can add that wrinkle of being able to take a few downfield shots, it takes the offense to another level.
Bill, speaking of that balance, I want to look at the running back room and kind of ask you if you think we could see some balance even inside that room itself. Tavion Thomas, over 1,100 yards on the ground a year ago, 21 touchdowns. But it seems like there's a lot to like about the rest of the depth there as well. I guess, how do you think they divide up those carries as this season unfolds?
Well, Tavion will be back number one. And you saw last year, when he finally got in, he is an absolute workhorse. But this is they're not going to feed the ball to him 30 and 35 times a game. You've got Mekhi Bernard, who's a veteran behind him. I've kind of compared him. He's kind of Utah's version of Deebo Samuel. They can use him in so many ways. He made that great touchdown catch in the Rose Bowl against Ohio State in the back corner of the end zone. He's one of the fastest guys on the team. And then you've got this true freshman who was the Florida 3A Player of the Year last year named Jalen Glover. Utah went to Florida and grabbed a guy named Zach Moss, who was pretty darn good. And now playing for the Buffalo Bills. They went to Florida again and grabbed this kid, Jalen Glover, and they love him. He's 18. He carries himself like he's 25. So you're going to see the carries divvied up between those three guys. Plus, Rising uses his legs too. So, we were talking about this on my radio show, wondering, would there be a 12 or 1,300-yard rusher? Probably not. I could see Thomas, like he did a year ago, getting over 1,000. But I can see Mekhi Bernard getting 600. I can see Jalen Glover getting 600 and Rising running for in the neighborhood of 450, 500 yards this year too. So the run game will be balanced. Thomas is kind of the number one back, but Glover and Mekhi Bernard give them different options too.
Talking with Bill Riley, the voice of Utah Utes football. Utah comes in at number 8 in our composite ranking on 25 teams in 25 days. So what is the biggest question on offense coming into the season?
There really isn't many. The backup quarterback, when you're talking about the backup quarterback being a question, that's usually a pretty good sign. And they had to fill 2 holes on the offensive line, but they played so many guys, especially early last year because of some injuries. They like what they have. They've got a top 8, and they've got their 5 guys right now. So those are really the only questions. They've got the best, they in Georgia probably have the best tight end combo in the country with Keithy and Kincaid. I would say, too, probably a little bit of depth at wide receiver. Britton Covey, who was so good for so long in the punt return game wide receiver, he's now with the Philadelphia Eagles. So Devon Vele, 6'4", 215, runs 4.440. He's probably going to be number 1. Solomon Enos is probably a solid 2. They've got a freshman, now sophomore, named Money Parks. Great name, by the way.
Yes.
His name is Monterin, but he goes by Money. He's got 1 career catch. It's a touchdown against USC. He'll be a sophomore this year. So they've got kind of a top 3 at the wide receiver spot. They use Keithy a little bit as a wideout too, and Mekhi Bernard. But I would say overall depth in the wide receiver room is probably the biggest offensive question. Again, there aren't many on this Utah team, which is a nice departure because for years we always talk defense first, and then whatever the offense can do is gravy. Now it's a lot more balanced here at Utah, and as you guys led the segment off, that's why they're having the success. They've been in Pac-12 championship game 3 of the last 4 years, won it last year. We're a whisker away from beating Ohio State, so the program's in good shape right now for sure.
Bill, speaking of the defense, is the biggest question mark with that side of the ball linebackers, would you say at this point?
I wouldn't at this point say linebackers because they brought in a kid from Florida named Mo Diabate, who was a 2-year starter there, who's been an absolute beast through 2.5 weeks of fall camp. 2-year starter in the SEC who's already adjusted to the system. Kareni Reed, who played as the 3rd linebacker last year. And then they've got 2 5-star freshman linebackers backing up there, including Lander Barton, whose brothers and sister, every member of the family's played a varsity sport at Utah, including his brother Cody, who was a linebacker. So, no, I wouldn't say that. I would say the biggest question is, on the end, they've got a lot of bodies, but they don't have a proven commodity. They don't have a 9 or 10 or 11 sack guy coming back for the first time in a couple of years. They've got some guys that could step up, but they don't have that proven commodity at defensive end. So I would say at least early on, who's going to be that edge rusher that draws the double team? It's probably the biggest question on defense.
And we saw it last year. For those who didn't get a chance to see much of Utah, you probably saw the Rose Bowl and you saw what Smith and Jigba did. By the way,
a lot of people.
By the way, yeah, welcome to the club. He did the same thing to Nebraska, just on a little bit smaller stage. But a lot of that reason was the secondary was banged up, by the end of the season. The good news is pretty much everybody is back. How healthy are they coming into the camp?
It's funny you guys say that because a lot of people coming in that didn't really pay attention said, oh, the secondary is a question. Well, it was in the Rose Bowl because they lost 3 corners to injury on the one side. That's why Mekhi Bernard was playing corner. I'm not sure Deion Sanders would have done much against Jackson Smith and Jigba that day. That guy was unbelievable. He and Stroud. But all 3 of those guys that got hurt are all back. They're all healthy. JT Broughton, who got hurt in the second game, he was an all Pac-12 second teamer 2 years ago. Then Fabian Marks and Zemiah Vaughn. Zemiah Vaughn was playing great. You know how he got knocked out for the year? Pac-12 championship game. He's on the ground. The referee steps on his ankle and breaks it. I'm talking about a run of bad luck. Yeah. So, yeah, those 3 guys are down. The opposite side corner, Clark Phillips, is one of the best corners in the country, being projected as a first-rounder by McShay and Kuiper. The slot receiver, the nickelback is good in Malone Mataele. And then the 3 guys on the other side, while they were hurt a year ago, all back and healthy. And then the secondary, Cole Bishop, who was a true freshman, preseason all Pac-12 this year. R.J. Hubert back from injury. And then they added a guy, and we're seeing this a lot now. He was a 1AA 2-time All-American at Illinois State, a guy named Clayton Isbell. 6'2", 215 pounds, great range. So Utah's got 3 safeties who can all play, and they like to play a 3 safety. They like to play kind of a 4-2-5 in the back sometimes with 3 safeties. They've got those guys. So yeah, I think the defense is going to be just fine. You never really worry about Kyle Whittingham, Morgan Scalley defenses. You know, at worst they're usually good. At best they're elite. They're probably somewhere between good and really good to begin this season.
Bill, I want to look at the expectations of this program going into this year because, you know, it seems like you can kind of put a clock to it. Every summer, every August, that first preseason poll comes out, and there's a team in the top 10 where expectations are put upon them that maybe haven't been there before, if ever, or certainly recently. Like I think of Iowa State last year, they were a top 10 darling. Utah has definitely become that team this offseason, and I think they're certainly in a better spot than Iowa State was a year ago, given that they did win the Pac-12 conference. How is this program handling all of that? We're at playoff. I mean, that's been mentioned a whole lot. Taking that quote-unquote next step as a program under Kyle Whittingham. Do you think that they're ready for the quote-unquote moment that they're about to face?
Well, as I said, they've played in 3 of the last 4 Pac-12 championship games. They were on track to be the 4th playoff team back in 2019, and then they no-showed in the Pac-12 championship game against Oregon. Everybody that's on that team that was on that team was a freshman or sophomore. Most of those guys are still here. So, yeah, the moment isn't too big for this group. I mean, they went in and slugged toe-for-toe with Ohio State last year in the Rose Bowl. They smacked USC, Oregon around twice last year. No, they're ready to go. Now, again, with a 14 playoff, there's not much wiggle room. If you run the table, you're going to be fine. And Utah's got a chance to do that, but I'd never pick that. I mean, to run the table's hard to do, but they could. They're one of, I think, 5 or 6 teams in college football that preseason are favored in every one of their games. So you've got that going. But the good part for them this year is that their non-conference schedule is Florida and San Diego State. Now, Florida isn't Florida, but it's still a notable road win if you get into the swamp. They're not garbage. They're just in a transition year. And that still looks good on a resume. And then they've got San Diego State, who has been a terrific group of 5 team for the last number of years, you know, fringe top 25. So you've got that as your non-conference. And then you've got UCLA, who's going to be good this year. You're at Oregon this year. You've got USC at your place. So you're probably going to play, you know, in the grand scheme of things, 3 or 4 ranked teams, plus a good non-conference schedule. So if they end up with a loss, if they finish, you know, 11-1 regular season, 12-1 if they win the league, if it comes down to resume comparisons, I think they're going to be right there in the mix.
Could be a very exciting year for Utah football, and Bill Riley will be there to call it all this season on the radio. Bill, have an enjoyable year. We'll be looking forward to that game in 17 days. It's one of the really good ones on the first full Saturday of the season. Appreciate the time.
Thanks, boys. Talk to you soon.
You bet.
Thank you, Bill.
Bill Riley joining us here on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
That game is awesome. Look, Notre Dame, Ohio State, it's getting all the run on week 1, and I understand why. But you want to talk about an incredible game that I look forward to watching at the exact same time. It is Utah going to Florida. I love what Kyle Whittingham has done. I love the program that he has built.
Mhm.
He took over from Urban Meyer, and he has kept this thing humming along. It's a really good football team. He runs through that schedule, though. Very difficult schedule.
Yeah,
Can
it's
they
not
make
easy.
it through unscathed, or could they get in at 12-1? That's kind of the question that's going to surround Utah.
For the overall health of college football, you are kind of rooting for the old Pac-12
Definitely.
to get back in the playoff.
Definitely.
If they can. And Utah would be one heck of a story, especially if USC is going to take over the world, at least for the last 2 years that they're in the conference with Lincoln Riley at the helm. But, yeah, Kyle Whittingham's done a tremendous job. In fact, KD writes, if Frost doesn't work out, Trev's first call has to be to Whittingham, right? Perfect culture fit with the fan base.
Is the only argument against him his age? He's 62. I mean, that's not old, but I'd call him. He's a great coach.
But absolutely call him.
I love what he's built. And he's right. Culture, I mean, seriously, what that dude has built, the type of football his teams play, physical ass football. Yes.
Physical, disciplined, good, solid football program.
One of the plays in there in 25 in the open was a special teams touchdown. Was a punt return at the buzzer, by the way, against that was the Oregon game. No. Yeah, that was the first Oregon game in the regular season when they played them last year.
All right, coming up, Schaefer still to come, and Dumb Debates, and Mitch Holthus.
Oh, man.
It's Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Kugler Vision. We are moving on into the fall season. What does that mean? Well, variety of things. Sports are going to be in full swing. The kids are going back to school. Well, also dry air will be here before you know it. The humidity will go away. And if you've been rocking the contacts for years, you know about the dry eyes that you'll have to deal with in the months to come. You actually don't, though, have to deal with them if you give my friends at Kugler Vision a call. 402-558-2211. Schedule a consultation today. I did so. Gosh, I mean, I got to start saying about 5 years ago is when I was in the process of going through that scheduling of the consultation. Had the procedure done in early 2018. Been a game changer in my life. It could be a game changer for your life as well. Whether it's going to the sporting event, sitting in the high up seats, in the seats down there by the court, by the field, no problem at all. Being on your computer at work. You know me, I like to go out for a jaunt every now and then. Don't have to worry about missing a crack in the street or anything like that on the sidewalk. I can see everything perfectly clear. Many friends of the program have reached out over the last few years with questions, gotten a few people to go there as well and get a procedure done. I hope that you can join in that process shortly. 402-558-2211 or KuglerVision.com.
You could win $5,000 to have the ultimate tailgate party on 1620 The Zone. Enter now at 1620thezone.com.
Hi, everybody. Gary Sharp. You know, if you've been in Nebraska for a while and you love going to sporting events and you're getting your hands on the best tickets, there's a good chance you bought them from Ticket Express. Well, I'm here to tell you that Ticket Express has a new name. It's Tickets for Less. So if you've loved the quality customer service and the community feel that Ticket Express has brought us over the past 3 decades, have no fear. Tickets for Less is going to be here with the same energy and the same selection. Ticketsforless.com. Always the best seats at the best prices to your favorite sporting events. And if you ever need anything, just give them a call. 402-398-1999 and tell them Gary sent you.
Psst, come here. I got a secret weapon that'll make your family happy. Real happy.
It's my new caramel toffee cookie combo. My big chocolate chip cookie covered with caramel and toffee bits. Add any medium specialty pizza piled high with the best toppings and loads of mozzarella on top. Plus any medium one-topping pizza. Caramel toffee cookie combo.
Order now.
Godfather's Pizza. Do it.
Moments like watching my grandson steal second mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib. blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
It is Big Red Friday, August 26th at McDonald's. You'll score a limited edition Husker flag for just $5. You're looking for a good cause? The proceeds benefiting your local Ronald McDonald House. That's a good deal. Those families, they go through enough. We want to take the burden off of those families by supporting the Ronald McDonald House. Should a Husker fan like you need a flag? Absolutely. Stop on out. It's Big Red Friday, August 26th at your local McDonald's.
Hey friends, Kent Pavelka here, back with John Higgins and the Rooferees at the Weather Guard Showroom. Why would it be advisable for me to have you do my roof versus somebody else?
Well, integrity of myself and our employees, longevity, what we do here in the community, that has to go a long way. And I believe it does. We do what we say we're going to do. And if there is a problem, we're going to come back and fix it.
So make the right call, fans. When it comes time to replace your roof, your gutters, and siding, there's only one call to make. The Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Your neighborhood is more than blocks of buildings. It's the people who live there that make it special. At Union Bank and Trust, we're not just creating home loans. We're making neighbors. We're not just small business lenders. We're small business shoppers. We don't just live in your community, we help you build it. Because our people are your people. Visit ubt.com/neighbor to learn more. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
Arizona Ziggy wants to know, did young Nick perish like Stibbs, RIP? No, Nick's off this week.
Yeah, he'll be back next week.
He'll be back next week.
Yeah.
But you won't.
He's still tweeting about Formula One, I think. I don't know.
But you will not, if you're going to be out there, going to see him for Golf Flash, which, by the way.
Oh, let me check.
I just did.
Oh, there's still one spot.
There is team spot left.
Uno spots. Well, how do you say spot in Spanish?
Spot. It's
Luger?
almost sold out.
Uno Luger.
So you better get in now. It's Friday at Miracle Hill for our 5th annual Golf Flash.
Oh.
Just $300 per team.
Baby.
4-man teams, 4-person teams.
Thank you. Woke John. Thank you, John.
Well, listen,
Thank
people
you.
shouldn't be that upset. I mean,
Thank you. Inclusivity. That's what we are all about here on the program. Thank you, John. It's going to be a great day in the 80s.
4 humanoid teams.
That's true. No dogs allowed. Sorry.
With golf, cart, tea prizes,
food.
It's
lunchtime. It starts at 1.
Us.
The most important part, you and me.
Yeah, the program will be live.
Yeah.
So get to miraclehillgolf.com and register because there's a spot left.
Dan, are you there or are you here?
I am here.
Oh, Dan won't be there. Bummer. Sorry for Dan.
Sad day.
Yeah, people could have met Dan.
Today,
make that face like in your Twitter picture.
Today, Nebraska hired Ernie Ziegler as their new assistant coach. He's replacing Armand Gates.
Mm-hmm.
Well, his son, Trey, is a GA for and still your, by the way, Creighton Blue Jays.
Oh,
so
family
father
rivalry.
and son will do battle later this year.
Come together like father and son.
In Omaha. And apparently, father, Coach Ernie, had this to say. Jacob Padilla, friend of the program, tweeted this out. It was a quote from his press conference. Coach Ernie Ziegler said, "It's funny, my wife and I drove in and stayed the night with him in his apartment Monday night.
Oh, man, that's always so funny.
And for the first time in his career, I'm going to have to go against them and not root for him and try to kick his butt. So that's going to be the plan. He's going to take that L."
I like it. I like a little trash talk.
Ernie,
Oh, what are you going to say?
you're not familiar with the history of this series, now
Hey,
are you?
History, John. What do they
Look
say?
at that ground. You see that sky up there? It's blue.
What do they say?
The ground is also blue. It may not look like it, but this is a blue state, Josh Peterson.
What do they say, John, about being doomed to repeat history? What's that phrase? Being doomed to repeat.
I believe the history is when Nebraska ball schedules Creighton, they're doomed. Yes. I
No,
believe
that's
the phrase.
not how it goes.
I believe that's how it goes.
That's not how it goes.
But so now it'll be a family affair, which is cool because that's one of the things that's fun about this rivalry is, obviously all the fans are in the same state, and you do have former teammates who played for each of the individual schools.
I saw Jay Skirt today on my run. He was literally wearing a Husker shirt and a Creighton hat.
I bet that triggered you.
I wanted to stop and yell at him. Pick a side, old man. But I decided not to. You know who I run by a lot? I've seen him a couple times. I guess a lot isn't twice. But I've seen Jim Flannery multiple times while out on my run. Poor Jim has to see me shirtless.
What are you running shirtless for?
It's 80 degrees on Saturday. Why am I going to wear a shirt when it's 80
Because
degrees?
you're doing the rest of society a favor?
Society can deal with. Jed has seen me shirtless many times. Jed has seen me shirtless more than most women.
Who?
Jed.
Why are you going naked over to Jed's house?
Not going to Jed's house, and I'm not naked. I'm just shirtless and I'm running. People forget I used to live in Midtown. Jed was over by his mail. I don't know. Jed, he always tweeted
what is it with you and shirtless?
Dude, I want to get a little tan going.
I mean, I don't know what's worse.
It's hot,
you shirtless or you wearing a shirt of a shirtless Jim Harbaugh?
I don't wear that shirt anymore. I don't even have that shirt anymore.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Before we get to Mike Schaefer, Mina asks, would Frost or any other Husker fan rather be 3-1 to start the season in scenario 1 or scenario 2? Kind of going off our discussion yesterday. So what if a 3-1 start featured a loss to Northwestern, but then you rattle off 3 in a row? Or you rattle off 3 in a row and then lose to Oklahoma?
Actually, here's a hot take. I think that the one where you start with a win and then lose to Oklahoma would actually be received better than the other one. Because if they beat Oklahoma after losing Northwestern, a lot of people are like, where was this 3 weeks ago?
But
it'd be a much better win.
But forget about the much better win for just a moment and consider so many people, like last year, were convinced that this train was headed off the tracks after losing game 1. And the prophecy was fulfilled. Imagine if they were to lose to Northwestern and everyone it safely assumes, well, here we go again. And then Frost pulls the old switcheroo and they rattle off 3 wins, including beating Oklahoma.
Denzel Washington flying the plane upside down. That'd
Exactly.
be pretty cool. Yeah, you're right.
I would take scenario 1 over scenario 2 because that would show growth.
It would.
That would show growth.
It'd be
tailgate right now. Enter 1620thezone.com.
1620 The Zone traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Heads up, it looks like westbound McKinley Street is currently closed between 60th and 69th. Traffic is alternating on eastbound lanes. Expect significant delays through there. Traffic is currently stopped on the southbound JFK. The exit ramp to L Street is closed, and traffic is stopped all the way back from eastbound I-80 because traffic is down to one lane in that area. And then about a 3 to 5 minute delay for both directions on Highway 275 between Center and 165th. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Burton AC, Plumbing, Heating, and More.
Hi, I'm Mark Evans, owner of Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More. Right now, we'll open your drain line for only $93 or it's free. Call for details or request service at justcallburton.com.
Hi guys, it's Andrew. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, today, Wednesday, August 17th, we're running a one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Brookside Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. This is a technology clinically shown to repair blood vessels and improve blood flow. Even Cambridge has studied our technology. If you're ready to transform your love life, grab your phone. Today is your day. Call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. Also, a gift that can produce powerful results in the bedroom in minutes. You're going to love that, guys. And today only, we're offering 6 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This has never been offered before and is worth $1,200, but call today, Wednesday, and qualify totally free. 402-671-7777. That's 402-671-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Brookside Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today. 402-671-7777.
Since this is a radio commercial, you can't see the people standing behind me. They're the Langfeld family. Everybody wave. Oh, sorry, you can't see them because radio. Anyway, the Langfelds are the family behind Langfeld Overhead Door, where they proudly install Midland garage doors to fit any space and style, and they don't take a backseat to anyone when it comes to their service. Because if something goes wrong, it's their name on the line. So they're going to make sure it goes right every single time. Langfeld Overhead Door, 402-234-2700.
It is Big Red Friday, August 26th at McDonald's. You'll score a limited edition Husker flag for just $5. You're looking for a good cause? The proceeds benefiting your local Ronald McDonald House. That's a good deal. Those families, they go through enough. We want to take the burden off of those families by supporting the Ronald McDonald House. Should a Husker fan like you need a flag? Absolutely. Stop on out. It's Big Red Friday, August 26th at your local McDonald's.
Your neighborhood is more than blocks of buildings. It's the people who live there that make it special. At Union Bank and Trust, we're not just creating home loans, we're making neighbors. We're not just small business lenders, we're small business shoppers. We don't just live in your community, we help you build it. Because our people are your people. Visit ubt.com/neighbor to learn more. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
When it comes to cement fiber siding, you want durability, hail and chip resistance, and beauty. You want James Hardy cement fiber siding. Carp's Complete Home Exteriors is an elite preferred James Hardy contractor. Call Carp's today or visit carpsomaha.com.
Would you rather that your roof or siding last 5 years or 50 years? I'm Dan Thompson of Thompson & Thompson 3rd Generation. Products today last much longer. Gone are the days of just tear shingles off, nail shingles on. Whether it's impact resistant, high wind tolerance, or in the case of EuroShield hail-proof rubber shingles, you can have great designer looks and durability. At Thompson & Thompson 3rd Generation, we don't just give you an estimate. We educate you and give you options. So you decide, 5 or 50. Click Thompson 3rd today and start enjoying your new roof or siding.
NRG Media is a locally focused company with a full suite of digital advertising products, and we're recruiting for a digital marketing salesperson. If you're looking to grow in a sales role that lets you create unique marketing campaigns for businesses by using products like OTT, targeted display, social media, and more, send your resume to salesomaha@nrgmedia.com. NRG Media is an equal opportunity employer.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
Earthlings, we have now taken over your radio.
Mike Schaefer.
See, I would argue
Because I like to argue.
We all underestimated how hard it is to, one, win college football games, and two, transition and take over a program.
Mike Schaefer.
I was trying to kindly tell Mr. Bishop the Vikings have a chance to surprise some people, and I think that they could even win the division.
Mike Schaefer.
It doesn't seem like the kind of book where they would be hooked on meth. That got dark.
Mike Schaefer.
Oh, it is that time of week. The great Mike Schaefer returns to the program because he was here on Monday. You know, Josh, we didn't get a chance. Maybe we should.
Here on Monday.
Maybe we should do a quick spoiler alert here because we.
Oh,
We didn't get a lot of time to flesh out the end of Better Call Saul, and we know that Schaefer is a huge Better Call Saul guy. So here's a quick spoiler alert, kids.
Yes,
we're going to continue our conversation from yesterday, but
for like 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes. 5 minutes with Schaefer on this. Did you think in the sense of? By the way, hello, welcome.
Hi, Schaefer.
Hello.
Did you think in the way that this story was going that would you classify it as a satisfactory finale?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a satisfactory finale. I didn't have any real agenda of this is what I wanted to see happen going into this whole final season, going back to the start of season 6 or whatever in the spring. So I was pretty much just along for the ride. And I think that's you're able to do that when you trust the people making the television. And, this set of showrunner and directors and cinematographers and writers, I mean, it doesn't get a whole lot better in television. So I was just on board with whatever they wanted to do. I was in, and that made it to the finale as well. And, I thought it was really interesting. I think those 3 conversations that he had, interspliced throughout the show with sort of, I don't know, they all kind of acted like older brothers, even though only one really was. You kind of have Walt, who's the older brother that you're constantly bickering with, Mike, the older brother that you're constantly seeking his affection, his attention, or at least acknowledgement, and Chuck, who's sort of a blend of those 2 things. And those conversations, I thought, really sort of set the tone for that finale. It felt a lot to me in a weird way, like Scrooge visiting the ghosts,
the 3 ghosts,
Christmas. Yeah, and so I thought they leaned really heavily on that, and the way that it plays out with his about face when he's talking to the judge at the hearing, really sort of was kind of the moment of acknowledgement and reflection of if the one thing that matters to me is saving this relationship in some form, then I'm willing to sacrifice everything for that. And I thought they set that up well. I thought that it went well. It's such an understated result for a series and a universe in which literally everyone else has an explosive finale, an explosive ending, other than probably 3 people. And those would be like Jesse, who's not obviously in this, and then, Kim and Jimmy. And so that in itself was kind of fascinating to think about. Everyone else sort of just dies or goes out in a blaze of glory. Yeah. And those 3, it just sort of ends, Jesse is his own thing. And those 2 are smoking a cigarette along the wall and sort of the walkout at the end there. I mean, I really loved it. It's a great, great show. It was a great ending. And I was good with it.
So 2 things for you, Schaefer, and then I guess this can be maybe the last question, and we can get to the Huskers. But 2 things for you. So I heard this on a podcast this week, and I don't remember this, but apparently Walt at one point in time said, we're all going to end up either dead or in jail. And I find it pretty interesting that only one person ended up in jail of that whole crew.
Of the whole crew.
And that was Saul at the very end. The other thing I wanted to say, you just mentioned the cigarette scene. It's funny because on Monday, as we logged off, as we signed off, you and I said, I don't know if we really want them to get together. I don't know if we want Saul and Kim to have one more moment. And yet when it happened, I'm so happy that we got this because that was a really cool moment. Her hands are shaking. He helps her out. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah. Well, and the reason that we didn't want it is that relationship had been left in such a poor fashion, but such a powerful fashion. There was how do you either top that? And of course they managed to do it because again, they're the best at what they do, or try to replicate it, which would have probably felt somewhat hollow. But instead, they topped it. It was incredible. And I don't remember, Walter White saying that. One of the hard things about this sort of prequel nature of this show is that I had only watched Breaking Bad once all the way through by the time, Better Call Saul had started. And I think just from the two experiences of these shows, I think being able to watch Better Call Saul each week as it came out was a far more enjoyable experience for me than borrowing your DVDs and racing through 5 seasons in like 4 months so I could be caught up for the finale of Breaking Bad. Like, I think if anything, it has taught me that I think I prefer the once a week approach,
definitely,
opposed to binging, because I think I get more out of it. I connect to the material more.
Welcome to my world. That's the way it used to be done in my day.
No, I'm with you, though, Schaefer.
Weekly episodic television.
It's much more fun. And I don't just say that selfishly as someone who talks about it. We talked about Better Call Saul after every episode. I would say, really since the beginning of the show, but really the last few seasons especially. It's much more fun. John and I, we both watched Ozark, but we were way apart from each other.
Yep.
And I don't think we ever actually talked about it on the show. Getting to discuss it with friends, getting to discuss it with coworkers. It's like the water cooler, but without the water cooler. We're just doing this all kind of together on a radio show. It's lovely.
You want to talk about two shows that I have polar opposite reactions and everything about would be Ozark and Better Call Saul. So
yeah, I did not
like
the
ending
ending
of
of that
show
show.
about. Well, I didn't care for much of Ozark when I had watched it. So I haven't even finished it. I've been sitting on the 4th season, I think, and just staring at it and like, I could start this, but do I really care? I don't know that I do.
Well, speaking of, do I start this? Do I really care? Nebraska football is coming up, and just
I do care, and I want it to start.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, I was just making sure. When Stephon Wynn, who came over from Alabama last weekend, lauded Nebraska's culture, does that make you stand up and notice more, or does that make you roll your eyes and, oh, this is just another camp cliche?
I don't know what to do with it. I appreciate him saying that because he has a perspective that none of the three of us have. You know, and I don't want to be so cynical that I just sort of assume that the same could be said of anybody transferring anywhere, because part of it for Stephon Wynn is it's not like he's coming here to rock the boat. It's not like he came to Nebraska to basically be like, well, this is how we did it in Alabama. These rings will tell you that we're smarter, because it's not like he was a big part of Alabama's success. So he was able to soak up and absorb what they had going on there. But at the end of the day, the culture difference between Nebraska and Alabama couldn't be less relevant, because I don't know what the culture is that Nick Saban has, but I do know that they win football games. And I know around here that they would trade hearing about culture for hearing about wins against ranked opponents. So I don't really know what to do with that. But I guess on one hand, it's good that it seems that a guy like Stephon Wynn came here and didn't feel like it was worse than what was going on at Alabama in terms of the culture. But ultimately what matters is they have to go win games. When they win games, we don't have to talk about the big C word.
And we're not allowed to say that word on the radio. Schaefer, speaking of transfer...
Different C word.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Speaking of transfer portal guys, so I've been trying, and I said this with Brunch yesterday, I've been trying to come up with new questions that I don't think I have asked at any point since last season ended. So here we go again. We'll figure out if I've asked this of you. But which of Nebraska's portal guys are you most confident in being good? Like, we know Casey is the answer to who needs to be good, but who is actually going to be good in your mind?
Tommy Hill, Omar Brown, 1 and 2.
Omar Brown, interesting.
Omar Brown is back, folks.
Nice.
I've always been really high on Omar Brown, and then just hearing from Eric Sinander yesterday that he's very much pushed himself into that mix and that they like what they've seen from him. He was a guy that had a lot of success at Northern Iowa, and I never really doubted that he was going to be involved at Nebraska, but he didn't have much of a spring. So I just liked what I've heard there. And then they can't stop praising Tommy Hill. And I know from just talking with Andrew Ivins at 24/7 Sports, Tommy Hill was so well regarded down in Florida that a lot of high school coaches remain baffled that Nebraska was able to get him immediately as he went into the transfer portal. This is a guy that could have went to almost any SEC school, could have went pretty much anywhere in the country, and he chose to go to Nebraska right away. And he's someone that I think is uber talented. And it's not just, he can return punts and he's going to be a fine corner. Like, we're talking about a guy that could be a game changer as a cornerback, that could have a game-changing moment as a return man. That's the kind of player that Tommy Hill was in high school. And I think that Travis Fisher has gotten a lot out of him right away. Travis Fisher is never afraid to put praise on people, but the way he's talked about Tommy Hill is unlike he's talked about anybody that he's had at Nebraska. And I know he's really liked several guys. Cam Taylor-Britt was a second-round pick. But the way he talks about Tommy Hill, it just feels like this is a slam dunk. And so those are the two guys like right at the top for me right now.
Well, when Chinander yesterday, and I pointed this out when we played the audio, when Chins said, you know, he has a chance to be special, Chins is not one given to a lot of hyperbole.
Right.
And so when you hear that, you know, it kind of makes your ears perk up. So when you answered that, I was glad. I think part of the issue, and correct me if I'm wrong, Schaefer, a lot of people in your Super Six had Omar in the Super Six.
I think I had him at the top.
I know I had him in.
He was my number one. I mean,
right.
Look, if you look at production alone, he's as good as anybody they brought in. I mean, the guy was an FCS All-American. He had 7 interceptions in a season. Like, we're talking about someone who played at the best FCS conference too, like the SEC of the FCS. So it's not just like a guy who got, you know, fat off of intercepting passes from Prairie View A&M. Like, this was someone who went up against good, talented teams. And I think Omar Brown's a player. Like, he chose to go to the Big Ten. He chose to go to Nebraska specifically because he liked Travis Fisher. He liked what was going on there. He has family connections. But he didn't come here to sit on the bench and be a rotational guy. So I think Omar Brown is going to catch some people by surprise early in the season.
I think part of it may have been just, you know, he didn't participate in spring.
Yep.
And so
the big part of it.
Yeah, you forget about him. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, they got that guy too.
Yeah, I mean, those are the guys I feel the best about. But there's quite a few transfers that I think are going to have an impact. Certainly, but those are the ones that I feel the strongest about right now.
So, you know, BC 24/7 Sports took a stab at the offensive 2-deep this morning on Husker247.com. I counted 8 either 2-year or 4-year transfers on that 2-deep. We knew, because I think we did this exercise with you, you know, several months ago, you know, how many of the transfer guys could end up on the 2-deep. And I think we got up to, you know, 11 or 12 overall. So this doesn't come really as a shock that there's 8 that I count 2 or 4-year transfers on BC's projected offensive 2-deep.
Yeah, I mean, just sitting here as you're talking in my head, I can run through like 7 names without breaking a sweat because you got backups more than likely in Kevin Williams and Hunter Anthony, a backup, and Brock Purdy. And then you expect all 3 of those wide receivers, Chubba Purdy. You expect all 3 of those wide receivers to play. So there's 3 more. Casey Constant, your starting quarterback. So that's 7. And then you get to Anthony Grant is expected. And so that's a 2-year transfer guy. That's 8. So, I mean, yeah, it adds up pretty quickly.
Actually, you know what, Schaefer? I forgot about Kevin Williams. So there's 9.
Yeah.
According to it, because he's got Thompson and Purdy at quarterback. You got Williams backing up Prohaska. So there's 3. Hunter Anthony backing up Ben Hart. There's 4. Anthony Grant at running back. Number 1 with Irvin. There's 5. Trey Palmer, 6. Marcus Washington, 7. Isaiah Garcia Castaneda, 8. And then he, of course, has place kicker on here. So there's Bleak Road. There's 9.
Yeah. So that's it's going to look different. It's going to take people a while to figure out who is who. And it leads to the question that Josh and I were trying to examine a little bit on Monday, like who becomes sort of the guy that when it's 3rd and 5, you're trying to get the ball to.
Yep.
Who's sort of the person that in the 4th quarter that you need to make sure gets a few touches that can be a key critical, you know, piece of this whole thing. So, and they're going to have to figure that out. I mean, the only people we really know are Ramir Johnson and Travis Vokolek. And Vokolek has yet to even have a really nice season with Nebraska, so he could be in line for like a 400-yard year. That wouldn't surprise me. And then, you know, we know a little bit about Oliver Martin and Omar Manning, but neither have really been able to kind of turn it on. But otherwise, everything else is new, including not new, but you have a new expectation with that offensive line with a different offensive line coach. I mean, there is so many different ways it can go for the offense over in Ireland. And I, scratch my head and think, and it could be anything for them over there. I mean, they could blow up for 50 points and they could show up and score 12. You just don't know.
Shape, do you think that Nebraska's coaches are more concerned about Northwestern and like what they bring to the table, or do you think that they're more concerned about how Nebraska's players respond to Northwestern? And I know that that's like kind of a thin line, right, that what we're describing, but are they more concerned about themselves, or are they more concerned about the team on the other side of the field?
If you take Mark Whipple's comments from a couple weeks ago about the red zone or what it's like when you're having the first of anything, I think they're more concerned about themselves. I mean, he sort of made, comments to this nature that when you're trying to start something out, or it's your first start as a quarterback, or your first start as an offensive coordinator, or, the first for this group at large, guys are going to press, guys are going to try to do too much. And so he wants to avoid that. And that has nothing to do with the opponent. That's a mindset. That's okay, we practice this. We've been together since January. We worked on it in the spring. We worked on it in the summer. We worked on it again here in fall camp. Like, fall back on what we've taught you. Don't just go out there and try to make something happen. And so I think, the mentality, at least from what Mark Whipple has stressed, is let's worry about what we can do. And I think that's always pretty much the same with the defense, because you're going to get great playmakers and great guys on offense all the time. But, they don't talk about doing their job for no reason. If the defense does what they're supposed to do, it's supposed to be very difficult on the offense to move the ball. But for the offense, I think the mindset that Whipple really wanted to push was, let's just play within ourselves and let's fall back on what we've been taught. And so I think, Northwestern's going to do what Northwestern does, and Pat Fitzgerald's teams are largely pretty similar year in and year out. So I think the onus is really on Nebraska to not get too far ahead of themselves and just kind of stay within the moment and go play to play. Like, every cliche that you can think of, those are all the reality that Nebraska has.
Cliches. It's the official buzz phrase of any training camp.
Oh, yeah.
Nebraska or otherwise. Have you decided yet on what the game day meal is going to be?
Yes, good question.
Next Saturday, a week from Saturday.
I haven't. I'm leaning towards one of the things I've discovered in the last year or so with having this smoker. You go get some of those Costco chicken breasts and smoke those up, throw them in a crock pot with a little bit of juice or water to keep it nice and moist. And, you have some fantastic shredded chicken. So I think that's the easy route that I might go, but I also kind of want to do ribs again.
See, I'm thinking the same thing.
Ribs?
Last year I did poor man's burnt ends.
Ooh.
Which basically you just take a chuck roast and you cube it and you smoke it like, you would a brisket.
Yeah.
And then, you baste it in sauce and it turned out okay. But then Nebraska went out and lost to Illinois. So I think I'm going to have to go with a different item this year, because I don't think the poor man's burnt ends didn't do much good for Nebraska.
John, do you know there's an even poorer version of burnt ends that you can make? Even a poor man's version of burnt ends, I suppose?
Do you just take the
Great Depression burnt ends?
What do you do? Just take those 99-cent hot dogs and cube them up?
Yep. Cube up the hot dog. You double smoke them. You add a little flavor in between the first and second smoke with like some jelly sauce or something. I saw a video of it.
Oh, this actually sounds good. I
thought about doing it.
Now that you think about it, because if you think about it, cheap hot dogs and bologna are basically the same thing. But I've seen a lot of great videos about smoked bologna. You just get a big old roll of bologna and you cut it up and maybe that'll be the
guarantee Josh has never had this. But John, I trust that you've had fried bologna before.
Oh my God, yes.
I've had fried bologna, Shafe.
It's the best.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't say it's that.
You generally, whenever we talk about your food history pre your 25th birthday,
23rd.
pretty concerning. So
fair.
But no, fried bologna was like a staple of Saturdays for me as a kid. Like, we get done with the paper route, my mom would make some eggs and some fried bologna. That was a good breakfast.
Ooh, maybe I'm going to go with something else. I mean, you're going to do the ribs. I'll do fried bologna.
See, I haven't planned any of my food stuff, and I don't know if it's because I'm doing the show after the game, and so I'm just not in the mindset of like, I'm at home all day relaxing, like you two yahoos. Some of us have to work on opening Saturday, John and Shay.
Oh,
Boo-hoo.
Yeah, nobody needs to hear you cry about having to do the call-in show for, 2 hours?
Sometimes, hey, if they lose, it might be 3. You never know.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, indeed.
You have control. You can end the show.
I don't have. Gary is the number 1 on that show. I don't have control.
Gary and I literally did the fastest Big Red overreaction in history so we could watch game 1 of the NLCS back in 2015. It can be done.
Yeah, well, there won't be game 1.
Yeah, that was.
Do you remember what game it was, John? 2015?
Yeah, when the Mets swept the Cubs. Yeah,
Oh,
game
boy.
1.
No. No one cares about what the NLCS
Oh, he means
game
what
was.
what the Husker game was.
Oh,
well, probably a loss.
What was the competing game? I think.
Was it the Minnesota game? One of the rare wins?
I think it was. Was it the Wisconsin game?
Oh, no, the field goal?
Yeah.
Oh, bummer.
I think it
With
was.
the iconic Andy Janovich run to glory,
Yes.
followed by "Let Me Clear My Throat."
Yes, I think
Nebraska
it was
fans
that
starting
game.
To feel good.
Oh,
I think
I'll
it
look
was.
it up. All right,
I think it was that game.
October 17th. Let's look up Nebraska 2015.
That sounds about
Because
right.
it was game 1, you said?
Yeah, it was game 1 of the NLCS.
It was the Minnesota win. Nice. GBR. So they got to win at 2:30. It was a 2:30 game.
Oh, the blowout. Frost first.
No.
second win.
No, this is Riley.
Oh, Riley. Jeez,
Yeah,
never mind.
Yeah.
All I know is we buzzed through that thing real fast just in
That
time.
was a pretty forgettable game, so that makes sense.
Well, it was a pretty forgettable NLCS, too.
Yeah, I barely remember anything about the NLCS.
Yeah. All right. Mike Schaefer, ladies and gentlemen. And next week, prediction week.
Oh, you got to have your record ready for us, Shafe.
I already have it. I've had it ready since July, as we discussed on Monday.
That's true. You did say that.
You did.
All
All right. Mike Schaefer, Husker247.com.
Bye, Shafe.
All right, guys. Good conversation. Have a great day.
We will. And you all stay right there. We're not going anywhere. Still more to come on Unsportsmanlike Conduct and Dumb Debates.
Ooh!
Straight ahead in the next hour on 1620 The Zone.
Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly sunny and very pleasant into the evening with the temperatures in the lower 80s. Skies should stay mostly clear for tonight, drop back to a low near 60. Mostly sunny on Thursday, a little warmer, highs in the mid-80s, and there's a rain chance Thursday evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Phil Ranby from KETV News Watch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Heads up, it looks like westbound McKinley Street is currently closed between 60th and 69th. Traffic is alternating on eastbound lanes. Expect significant delays through there. Traffic is currently stopped on the southbound JFK. The exit ramp to L Street is closed, and traffic is stopped all the way back from eastbound I-80 because traffic is down to one lane in that area. And then about a 3 to 5 minute delay for both directions on Highway 275 between Center and 165th. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Fernando's Omaha.
Thanks, Omaha. Thanks for voting Fernando's #1 for Omaha's Choice Awards for Best Mexican Restaurant and Best Margarita. Grab a friend or the whole family and get your fix. 2 locations and open 7 days a week. Fernando's, family-owned and community served.
Before you know it, Husker football season is going to be here, and you want to be in Memorial Stadium or following the Big Red on the road. And while you look for tickets, look no further than ticketsforless.com. Formerly Ticket Express, they are your home for the best selection of Husker tickets inside of Memorial Stadium. And the best part, you'll never pay those outrageous fees like you do at other sites. Just compare. And you want to follow the Big Red on the road? Tickets for Less has you covered there, too. Find the best seats at the best prices to all your favorite Nebraska events, all in one convenient location. Ticketsforless.com. That's ticketsforless.com. Get in the stadium.
Hi guys, it's Andrew. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, today, Wednesday, August 17th, we're running a one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Brookside Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. This is a technology clinically shown to repair blood vessels and improve blood flow. Even Cambridge has studied our technology. If you're ready to transform your love life, grab your phone. Today is your day. Call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. Also, a gift that can produce powerful results in the bedroom in minutes. You're going to love that, guys. And today only, we're offering 6 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This has never been offered before and is worth $1,200, but call today, Wednesday, and qualify totally free. 402-671-7777. That's 402-671-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Brookside Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today. 402-671-7777.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
After 24 years, Horseman's Park will close for major renovations on Sunday, September 18th. The original simulcast facility will be changed forever, so don't miss this final opportunity to watch and wager on over 700 TVs with weekly food and drink specials, door prizes, and so much more. Time is running out to be a part of Nebraska's horse racing history. Now through September 18th, open 7 days a week. Horseman's Park, Omaha's best bet.
If you're passionate about coffee, you should consider a career at Host Coffee as a valued service technician to install, repair, and rebuild state-of-the-art commercial coffee, iced tea, espresso, juice, cappuccino machines, and water coolers. Apply today and join our team at hostcoffee.net/careers.
Email Sharp and Benning on the Equitable Bank inbox with your love, your hate, whatever your hot takes are. We're here for you. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
Make the right call, fans. The Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Rooferees. This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. The 1620, The Zone.
You know, Nebraska and Wisconsin are fighting right now over the biggest attended game match in regular season volleyball history.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, this was something that Chattel brought up in his column earlier this week, and Wisconsin's moved their match against Florida to the Kohl Center, which is where the basketball team plays. It's a 17,000-seat arena. The record, the regular season match attendance record is 14,022. Set by Creighton and Nebraska back in 2018 here at the CHI Health Center, where this year's match is taking place. And there has been a strong effort by both Kirsten Bernthal Booth at Creighton and John Cook of Nebraska to fill the arena so they can break their own record and potentially keep Wisconsin from breaking the record back
Folks,
2 weeks after that.
Yeah, they're doing like their commercials. You know, to buy tickets.
Yeah, get your tickets now. Well, let me give you one more reason to be there, because we're going to be there.
Hell yeah,
That's
we
right.
are.
The program's going to a volleyball match.
Has the program ever been to a volleyball match?
Nope.
Wow.
Never. But it will be. Yeah, we're going to be, and the match actually starts at 5. It's a weird time because it's on FS1.
Yeah, so we'll be on the air as it unfolds.
So we'll be the Manning cast.
Oh, I like it.
We'll be the Manning cast version.
I like it.
So you'll definitely want to tune down whichever, announcers they have on FS1 and tune us up. We'll be right in the middle of dumb debates.
That'll be great. It'll be perfect.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Nebraska Creighton, let's set the record. So get your tickets now. Ticketmaster.com, go Creighton.com. Get your tickets. We don't care which side you root for. Just be there.
And you can look up at us and maybe yell at us. Throw something our way.
And then we'll throw it back at you because we'll be
One Beer
able to...
Wednesday, perhaps. Ziggy says, settle the silly Wisconsin squabble by putting a Husker volleyball match in Memorial Stadium. No one will touch that. I was surprised. Chattel mentioned it in the column yesterday. He said that John Cook said that he would be willing to move next year's game to PBA in downtown Lincoln. Remember, we just spent time talking about this a couple weeks ago.
Right, but the problem with PBA is it's a smaller arena than CHI or the Kohl Center.
Yeah, what is PBA?
About 15. For
you'd have
volleyball, it would roughly seat the same for basketball, so it's about 15.
So you'd have a lot of standing room only. You have 4,000 standing room only seats. That sounds fun.
Well, they're going to have them hanging from the big ass
rafters,
from the big ass fan that's above.
Oh, that's a great idea. Just spinning around.
They do. They do
around,
have the big ass fans in there.
spinning
They'll
around.
just be in there.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that'll be in a couple of weeks. So we'll look forward to that. We need it's been a while. We don't do this as often as we used to. Dan, we need a sports flash.
Time for an unsportsmanlike conduct sports flash update. Sports flash. From the Sports Flash Sports Desk.
I mean, that's like the longest wait we've ever had when we call for a sports flash. It wasn't on the other page? That thing should be on every page. It's the sports flash.
Disgusting.
Anyway, from Pete to Hamill.
I thought you were going to say Pete King. I thought he was going to have a nugget.
Thamel of ESPN.com. The college presidents and chancellors
Ooh, you just hit the post there.
who make up the college football playoffs board of managers.
Is
No.
it expanding?
No.
Tell me.
No, it is not
It's
expanding.
going to 64 teams,
No.
John.
No.
16 teams?
But the college football playoffs board of managers began a discussion this week in which they discussed the idea of restructuring how college football is governed. And it presented the possibility of major college football potentially being governed outside of the NCAA. Now, this has been discussed before. That maybe, and Gene Smith of Ohio State was like one of the first ones to bring this up a few months ago.
It's been said a lot over the last few months, yeah.
That, the NCAA, having the NCAA govern college football, it makes less and less sense each year because there are a lot of schools who don't play football who still have votes as part of being NCAA members.
Like Creighton. Let's play football.
And one of the things that the powers that be in college football would like to do is have a little bit more control of the situation. This would be one way to do it. Now, the interesting thing here is you hear this and you think, well, that means a Power 5 split. But remember, the College Football Playoff Board is made up of all 10 major football conferences. I should say FBS conferences. So the Mountain West, the Sun Belt, for example, the AAC, Conference USA, they are all members of the College Football Playoff Management Committee. Also, the president at Notre Dame, John Jenkins. So what's interesting here is this isn't just Greg Sankey and Kevin Warren talking it over, though I'm sure they're holding sidebar conversations among themselves.
Yeah, texting.
But this is everybody. If this were true, and if this were to come to fruition, maybe this is one way to save
Rose Bowl,
the 130 current team FBS as we know it.
Yeah, it seems like something is afoot. I've been saying that for a while. The Gene Smith quotes, there's just kind of read the tea leaves, and it seems like something is changing. One of the discussions that you and I have had, and a lot of people have had lately, is like the lack of kind of guardrails, the lack of maybe a structure of rules where, like, Alabama theoretically plays in the same sport as UTEP. Like, it's kind of weird, right? That those two teams kind of go by the same rules, and so maybe you have a more organized structure. And dare I say, this thing continues to move towards a more professionalized model in kind of how it is operating.
If there's one thing that would actually make it logical and consistent, is the governing board would also be the board that runs the postseason, because one of the great, contradictions of major college football is it's an NCAA sport. The rules are created by the NCAA, both the playing rules and the recruiting rules. But the playoff is managed by the college football playoff, which are the schools themselves. The NCAA does not sponsor.
They do not crown a champion.
The FBS college football champion.
They don't give out a trophy for
it's
it.
Never been that way. No. And now this would at least be one way to streamline everything and have the people who are in control of the championship also be in control of the rules of the game and a variety of other things.
Yeah, it seems so. Thamel just followed up with another tweet. He says, in the story from Monday's call, the CFP Board of Managers hasn't shut the door on expanding the CFP before 2026. Presidents discussed how much money was left on the table by playing out Final Four seasons of deal as currently constructed. And that's what we said last year. No, not last year. This year, earlier this year, when the vote came through and it was official that it was not going to expand. They were leaving, billions of dollars, but certainly millions of dollars on the table because they were mad. They were mad about the SEC. And so they left a lot of money on the table. And now some conferences, you just got to worry about their future. They have to be wondering about their future. So, we'll see. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's been quite the offseason, man. It's been quite.
It has. And I guess that I should stress, too, Thamel said it's very early conversations. But as we've seen in college football,
things move fast.
Things can move very fast if they want to. I would guess with this, though, this will move a little bit slower. This part of it will move a little bit slower.
Yeah, I would say so, too.
All right. Coming up, Mitch Holthus, the voice of the Kansas City Chiefs. It's another Chiefs camp report next on Unsportsmanlike Conduct in 1620 The Zone. Weather's been getting better here recently, but, Josh would like to kill our summer and move right into winter. No! So, when's the last time you had your furnace checked? Especially gas furnace owners, you need to be mindful that carbon monoxide is very dangerous. And if you have not had your gas furnace properly maintained and safety inspected, it can cause some very serious issues. Well, when you join the Comfort Club at McCarthy's 1 Hour Heating and Air, you can take that worry out because the trained professionals at McCarthy's will stop by your house twice a year to check both your AC and your furnace to make sure everything is running properly and running safe. You also get discounts on repairs, and you move to the front of the line if there is a serious problem that needs to be fixed today. Those are all the advantages of the Comfort Club, and all it is a low monthly fee that will never change for the lifetime of your membership. So trust the professionals, the trained, drug-tested professionals at McCarthy's 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, the place that's always on time or you don't pay a dime. McCarthy's1hour.com.
You could win $5,000 to have the ultimate tailgate party on 1620 The Zone. Enter now at 1620thezone.com.
The Ford truck lineup is purpose-built from the ground up, designed to be tough and productive. Crafted with high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy body and torture-tested high-strength steel frame with new tech to help you work smart and hard. The F-150, Ranger, and Maverick are built tough and ready to tackle whatever lies ahead. Hit the road in confidence and learn more about Ford trucks in-store or online anytime at WoodhouseFord.com, your trusted truck dealer since 1975. Woodhouse Ford.
Life is all about choices. Veggies or meat, sleep in or hit the gym. Luckily, choosing Cox Internet over the competition is easy. With Cox, you get the same fast gig speeds everywhere. With the competition, you don't. That's easier than deciding to pack a swimsuit for the water park. Get Cox today, the no-brainer choice for fast and reliable internet. Download speed up to 1 gigabit per second, requires DOCSIS 3.1 modem with 2.5 gigabits per second Ethernet port. Not available in all areas. Speeds vary and are not guaranteed.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
It happens every day, and homeowners are victims every time, unless they call us. Hi, this is Garen Armstrong with Shamrock Roofing. Recently, a local homeowner with an aging roof had 2 well-known roofing companies out. Neither found hail damage for an insurance claim, but both happily submitted bids for a new roof. Then the homeowner called Shamrock Roofing. We found significant hail damage and sat with the homeowner when he filed his claim. We were there again when the insurance adjuster came out. And when the insurance company tried to deny the claim, the homeowner appealed with his evidence from Shamrock. The insurance company then approved the full claim for a new roof. Shamrock Roofing helped the homeowner get his roof when the other roofing companies could not. That is exactly why we say call Shamrock Roofing first, especially if you're wondering about possible wind or hail damage. If you have it, we'll find it. One call does it all. Call Shamrock Roofing today or find us online at shamrockroofer.com.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
Roll super mega for your backside. Shake your booty, do the Charmin slide. Super mega make you feel alright. Everybody do the Charmin slide. Long-lasting TP gets everybody going. Leaves booties clean and totally glowing. Shake your booty, do the Charmin slide. Change your roll less and go with pride.
Charmin Super Mega Roll is longer lasting, so you can change the roll less often. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's half-off deal is $50 worth of vouchers to Le Voltaire French Restaurant for only $25. Le Voltaire Pepperwood Village is a locally owned, unpretentious French restaurant serving down-home cooking with an extensive wine list and great handcrafted cocktails for decades. Whether dining with friends, clients, or that special someone, Le Voltaire will make you feel right at home.
Zone Deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com.
Your exclusive home for Royals baseball in Omaha.
Right up the middle, base hit, and the Royals are a winner.
1620 The Zone.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
And now, a Kansas City Chiefs training camp update brought to you by Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. And now, fresh off the salad bar from one of Hy-Vee's over 240 locations, the voice of the Kansas City Chiefs, Mitch Holthus.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
Oh, yeah, man. It's like you're playing the games of checkers, chess, man. You got to set a move to make a move. You know, you got to create momentum to use momentum. So it's like this is the perfect place to work it. So when it comes time in the season, you can just oil it up and have it ready to go. But, you know, these are dog days where we do long drive drill, and you got to work those things because, you know, you're tired, you're gassed, your body's like shutting down, but you got to still work at your keys, your fundamentals, and your technique.
That is defensive lineman Mike Dent as we continue our look at the trenches. And today was day 16 of Chiefs training camp, or as you heard Mike say, it's getting to be the dog days.
Dog days.
Anyone dogging it out there, Mitch, except you, of course?
I thought of John right away when he said you got to create momentum to use momentum. And use momentum against the opponent. I thought, man, that just sums up John's life.
Yeah,
it's so well done, man. That's you. That's all you.
It's all me, man. But Mike, Mike's important. You know, the defensive line this year. We talked about Frank Clark earlier in our camp updates, and this is a group that really wants to, you know, turn it up this season. And provide more of that pass rush so that, you know, guys like Joe Burrow and company don't have more time to do damage.
Yeah, it's going to be the countermeasure to the division where everybody is thinking the other three division teams are, man, they're all in and coming after Mahomes. Well, there might be like some counterattack here, and that would be guys like Mike Dana. Now, your Rams win the Super Bowl championship last year. Well done.
We forget that.
Super Bowl 56. But Aaron Donald is the best at what he does in the league. But the depth on that line, if you look at what happened throughout the year, and especially in the playoffs when they caught fire, it was those other cats too. Von Miller helped out, but there were others. And that's the Chiefs right now. The others are in the best shape they've been in the 10 years of Andy Reid. There's more dudes that can make effective plays on the defensive line. We know about Chris Jones, who left practice today. His back was tightening up a little bit. But there's guys here, and there's Turk Wharton, and there's Vanna, and there's Derek Nottie, and they've signed Danny Shelton, the expatriate. We mentioned the guys in the depth on the defensive end position. They really are going to go into the season with 10 guys on the defensive wall. That is the best group of 10 easily that Coach Reid has had. And then I got to go back probably to the Marty years where they've had this much talent and depth on the defensive front, and the NFL world just doesn't talk about it because they don't know about it yet.
So, Mitch, have they reached peak dog days of training camp? Is like how long have they been there? How much longer does this period usually last?
We got one more day in St. Joe, and it's a lighter day tomorrow. These 3 days, though, are interesting because it's after the first preseason game, and coach doesn't like back off or ease into it or say, hey, we're going to have one tough day. These are 3 tough days, back to back to back. It was interesting. Anthony Sherman, the sausage, was here on Monday. He's now retired. But he said, I wanted to show up on this day because he goes, this day's usually like the worst day of camp. But it really wasn't. Now, the cool weather helped. But this is this Chiefs team's a bit unusual, man. They just continue to work. Their work ethic and preparation and focus from the very beginning of our reports, I've echoed this, but they came after it today and yesterday and the day before. All 225 practices, all in pads. I'm not sure there's another handful of teams that collectively do that, especially after the first preseason game, but that's Andy Reid's philosophy and his approach.
The day of Tuesday is a big one for the rest of this month. Yesterday, the initial roster cut deadline. Next Tuesday, it's the second roster cut. You have to be down to 80. And then, of course, on Tuesday, August 30th, that's when you make the big cuts and go from 80 down to 53. And in cases, especially with teams like Kansas City, Mitch, who, have a pretty good idea of, who they're going to keep. And, you're only talking about maybe just a few spots at the back end of that 53 that you're pondering over right now. Where do you think the stresses are in terms of, where those final cuts eventually get made?
I think defensively, sitting here on August the 17th, I think the defense is pretty much ready to go. This gets close to home for the Cornhusker fans because DiCaprio Bootle, to me, would be right at the cut line. These young corners have been brought in. We mentioned Trent McDuffie in the first round, drafted in the 4th round, Joshua Williams in the 7th round, Jalen Watson, and all 3 are in the mix. I mean, really in the mix. And Bootle is the second slot corner when the Chiefs go to 5 defensive backs. But to me, DiCaprio, who's had a decent camp, again, like he was last year, is right at the cut line. And he was able to play a couple games last year for the Chiefs activated. That's a big one in defense. Offensively, running back is really interesting. And then it becomes a numbers game. Now, where the need is, I think, is on depth on the offensive line. We saw that in the Chicago game Saturday. So it's not only who you cut, you're going to be scouring other places. And weren't you guys surprised that one of the Raiders' first cuts was Demarcus Robinson? That kind of stunned us here in this camp.
We will be following that situation over the next few days. Of course, next roster cuts aren't due until next Tuesday. Tomorrow, what do we have to look forward to? Are we staying in the trenches?
Oh, yeah. The steal of the 2021 draft, the first-round draft pick in the 6th round, and Trey Smith. Really an interesting story. But this guy is, he could have a Hall of Fame career. He's not Will Shields, but he's not far from him. And he plays the same spot. So we'll hear from Trey tomorrow. And then also McCole Hardman had a groin injury earlier today. We all held our breath for a minute. He was down for a while. I don't think it's going to be serious, but I don't think we're going to see McCole probably the rest of the week or Saturday afternoon against Washington.
The good news is there's still a few more weeks before actual game time. So if it's going to happen now. Those slow injuries like high ankle sprains, groins, plenty of rest.
Yeah, and we haven't had the prayers up, knock on wood, the Tim Patrick, Ryan Jensen ones yet. When he went down, you never know. It looked like his lower leg, but then he got up on his own power. And we could kind of start to breathe again, and then it looked like he's okay, all right. So it's just but you do hold your collective breath when one of your top players goes down in preseason.
All right, Chiefs fans, stay tuned tomorrow, 4:30. Mitch Holthus will join us. Another Chiefs training camp report brought to you by Hy-Vee, official grocery partner of your Kansas City Chiefs. Mitch, thank you much.
Thanks, man. Create momentum to use momentum. There you go.
Thank you, Mitch.
That's my philosophy on the interstate.
Nice. Consider the momentum.
Get up to 105,
created.
110, and then just coast. That's creating momentum.
105, 110.
Yeah.
I like it. I've never gotten my own car to 100. I've been in a car that's gone 100 miles an hour on the interstate. Like not, you've done like the track type stuff. I've never done it myself though. That's dangerous.
It is.
It's breaking the law.
It is.
So you do it every day.
Never stopped you though.
Yeah. It stopped me from doing that.
Well, coming up next, it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's a happy hour.
Yeah.
Dumb debates.
Yeah.
We got some good ones this week, including some more football stuff.
They're going to say more food.
Not as much food. There's been a stupid nerd debate going on in my timeline.
Nerd debate.
Oh, it's just driving me nuts.
How big of a nerd is John?
I do have a food debate in here, but that's all coming up next here on Unsportsmanlike Conduct and 1620 The Zone, home of Golf Flash 5.
It is indeed, John, and there is one spot left. Josh Peterson here from my friends at Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis. 5th annual Golf Flash Scramble is coming up on Friday. We will be there from 2 until 6. The shotgun start, of course, is 1 o'clock. Only $300 for you and 3 of your friends, coworkers, family members. I don't care. Find 3 really good golfers. Maybe invite Rory McIlroy. It's all good with me. $300 per team. You're going to get golf with the cart. Awesome GPS, of course, attached to that. Tee gift prizes, lunch included. Given that it's a 1 o'clock shotgun start, you can eat and then go out and play some golf. We'll be there from 2 until 6. It'll be a 1-beer Friday, so we'll be having a great time. As you finish up, that's when the final hour, the happy hour, if you will begin for us. Hope to see you out there. As we said, only one foursome left, so I know that we will be seeing a bevy of friends of the Grum in about 48 hours. I hope to see you. Get to their website today, miraclehillgolf.com/store, and get signed up. The unofficial end of summer is but 2 days away at the 5th annual Golf Flash Scramble. $300 per team. Also, give them a call at 402-498-0220 and book your tee times because the weather has been spectacular lately. They're located just north of Dodge on 120th Street, Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis.
1620 The Zone Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Currently no wrecks to avoid. Southbound JFK is down to just 1 lane of traffic, and traffic is stopped from L Street all the way back to the eastbound I-80 split. Avoid the southbound JFK if you can. Otherwise, westbound McKinley is closed between 60th and 69th for some road work, so traffic is alternating in the eastbound lanes, causing delays through there. And then if you're north on the JFK, slow going from Q Street to L Street with the left lane closed, and delays on Highway 275 for both directions between Center and 165th. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Saul's Jewelry and Loan.
Hey everyone, it's John with Saul's. Great jewelry is always in fashion, and we have it all at Saul's. From diamond bracelets to rings to earrings and those one-of-a-kind gold pieces that you can't find anywhere else, and so much more. Smart shoppers start here at Saul's.
Hi, everybody. Gary Sharp. You know, if you've been in Nebraska for a while and you love going to sporting events and you're getting your hands on the best tickets, there's a good chance you bought them from Ticket Express. Well, I'm here to tell you that Ticket Express has a new name. It's Tickets for Less. So if you've loved the quality customer service and the community feel that Ticket Express has brought us over the past 3 decades, have no fear. Tickets for Less is going to be here with the same energy and the same selection. Ticketsforless.com. Always the best seats at the best prices to your favorite sporting events. And if you ever need anything, just give them a call. 402-398-1999 and tell them Gary sent you.
Since this is a radio commercial, you can't see the people standing behind me. They're the Langfeld family. Everybody wave. Oh, sorry. You can't see them because,
radio. Anyway, the Langfelds are the family behind Langfeld Overhead Door, where they proudly install Midland garage doors to fit any space and style, and they don't take a backseat to anyone when it comes to their service. Because if something goes wrong, it's their name on the line. So they're going to make sure it goes right every single time. Langfeld Overhead Door, 402-234-2700.
Do you have big plans for your business? Get access and get growing. If you need a commercial loan or line of credit, the experts at Access Bank can help you get financing that fits your dreams. We're dedicated to supporting owners and entrepreneurs like you on a timeline that fits your schedule, because we're here for a reason, to help Omaha grow. Get started today at accessbank.com. That's accessbank.com. Member FDIC.
The Omaha Farmers Market is open every Saturday in the Old Market from 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and every Sunday in Exarban Village from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. May 7th through October 16th, enjoy the bountiful season of locally grown and handmade goods. Get the city's best selection of fresh produce, herbs, meat, and more. To keep up with what's in season, visit omahafarmersmarket.org and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Presented by University of Nebraska Omaha Methodist Health System and KETV Channel 7.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
Throw. 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 To have a blow throw, it would be nice. To have a blow throw, it would be nice. To have a blow throw when you're gone.
Listen, listen, not to we did anyway. Dumb debating.
John's computer sucks. Macs are the only way. Dumb debating.
Fullbacks are running backs. Hamburger steaks.
Josh is too dumb to eat a cupcake.
Mailing a base.
Does John like Nebraska or Creighton?
Just three radio hosts on air. Dumb debating. Die for the pylon or give up on the plate. Dumb debating.
Millennials are great and old should go away. Dumb debating.
Rarely do we find any common ground.
Josh wants his food to be the best around,
even if it gives him fatal flatulation.
Just three radio hosts on air. Dumb debating. When a tree falls down and nobody's around, you can bet your ass it won't make a sound. Water ain't wet, you know nothing about hydration. Just three radio hosts on air. Dumb debating. Just three radio hosts on air. Dumb debating.
Oh, yeah. Dumb debates time, my friends. It's that time again where you kind of take over the old program. You send us all of your quandaries, your questions, your concerns. And we debate. Yeah, occasionally we do handle some, some family squabbles on occasion. That's what we're here for.
We are indeed.
We're here for you. And you can always send us your dumb debates into the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed at USC 1620. Or the Equitable Bank inbox. John at 1620thezone.com or Josh at 1620thezone.com. Let's start with this because the games are coming up in less than 10 days. I mean,
you talking about the football game? The end of summer?
There are some games on week 0.
There are like a dozen games.
There are dozens of us.
Mm-hmm.
Harv wants to know, so Nevada at New Mexico State next Saturday is still time TBD.
Yes.
Is this the first time a network has used a 6-day window on an opening game? I think the window is, it's not so much.
They finally gave it a time.
Oh, they did.
2:30.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is
It's
it
on
the
Flow Video. It's on
Oh,
Flow
well, that's
Sports.
why, because literally nobody wanted this.
Hey, I call soccer matches that are on Flow Sports. Don't you sully the name.
No, I'm not sullying Flow Sports, but nobody wanted this on regular cable television.
Wow, what are you saying about the sport that I call sad?
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that those of you who go, oh, it's football, at least it's football. Well, CBS Sports, they didn't want it. ESPN, they didn't want it. Fox
CBS
Sports, they didn't
Sports
want
has
it.
a triple header. They have a quadruple header that day.
Nobody wanted New Mexico and Nevada. New
Flow
Mexico State,
Sports
Nevada.
did. The Josh Peterson of New Mexico wants this.
I'm glad for Flow Sports.
The check will cash, John. The check will cash. I can't believe it.
How much
Why
will
you
that-
keep
how much-
pooping on us that are excited for football? You keep doing this.
I'm not.
You're trying to make me feel bad for
pooping
wanting to
I'm
watch
pooping
games.
on football that no one wants to watch.
Some people, there are
Nevada,
family
Reno,
members.
and New Mexico State is not football that people want to watch.
Family members, maybe their little cousin, Bob.
Good. I'm glad Cousin Bob. I hope Cousin Bob has a Flow Sports subscription.
Yeah, it's a pricey login.
It can be.
Ziggy, our friend Ziggy wants to know. Now, yesterday, Happer spent a lot of time talking about chunks. So you understand the whole chunk business?
Yeah.
You got the first 4 games, that's chunk 1.
Yeah.
The middle 4 games, that's chunk 2. The last 4 games, chunk 3. Ziggy asks, which chunk will be the most miserable chunk for the hosts of Big Red Overreaction? Which of the 4-game chunks will be most miserable? Now, I would imagine most people would say, Josh, it's an easy answer, the last one, because they'll probably go 0-4, maybe 1-3. It'll be cold, it'll be dark, it'll be sad. They'll be talking about a coaching change. And that's a fine argument to make. But may I present to you the middle chunk? Indiana is in said middle chunk. Rutgers, Purdue, and Illinois. Any of those losses, given the name of those teams, will result in hellfire raining down upon the hosts of the show.
Well,
I'll say the middle.
That,
chunk.
and I hasten to say this, but, even if Nebraska were to sweep those games.
Oh, yeah. Not a big deal.
Sadly, people still look at the name on the front of the uniform.
Instead of the name on the back?
Right.
Yeah.
And so I would agree. The second, chunk 2.
Chunk 2?
Chunk 2 is probably the least desirable chunk.
Mm-hmm.
And that's no offense to any of those fine programs, including Purdue.
9-win team last year.
But they don't move the needle for a lot of folks around here unless Nebraska doesn't take care of business.
Yeah.
And that would happen to be a chunk that I think I have at least 2, if not 3 shows.
Oh my gosh. The Curse of John.
Yeah, it's not great.
This is not good.
Don asks into the Equitable Bank inbox, is Scott Frost keeping the assistant coaches away from the media to A, protect his guy Donnie, and 2, keep Mickey Joseph from continuing to worm his way into the hearts of Husker fans?
No, wait, real quick. Did he say A and then 2?
I'm sorry. A and B.
Okay, I thought that he
A
did
and
that.
B.
The latter is so cynical, but I've seen that opinion out there many
Sure it
times.
has.
I would not be surprised if it's the former, though.
Oh, I don't think there's any question. I'm willing to wager that if it was brought to the collective, #ABM, to discuss, hey, what are we going to do this year? And it was put to a vote, I'm guessing Donnie was one that said, yeah, I don't need to speak to anybody. And I'm guessing if it were put to a vote.
He still hasn't spoken, by the way, in fall camp.
Right. I would guess if it were put to a vote and it was, let's say it was 7-2 or 6-3 in favor of, yeah, we're fine still talking to the media.
Supreme Court.
But I believe in this one, it's either it's kind of like approving a college football playoff expansion. Either everyone agrees to it or the answer is no.
It's like Better Call Saul.
I only need one.
Only need one.
Only need one.
That can be only one. Yeah, I would say it's more that.
That it was decided, hey, if we're gonna make everybody available, but there's 1 or 2 who aren't comfortable doing it, or maybe we're not comfortable having them do it, then let's just streamline it as much as possible. It's going to be me, It's going to be whips. And it's going to be chins.
It's going to be whips and chains.
Whips and chins.
Yeah, I don't think that it matters. That
Which could
people
still
love
make a great
Mickey.
T-shirt, by the way.
Whips and chins.
It can't be whips and chains, but it could be, and so, like, for example, the T-shirt could say, in Iowa, they're into whips and chains. But here, we're into whips and chins.
Triple B, we just gave you a shirt.
It's a little wordy. You might need to streamline it a little bit.
Definitely.
You're welcome.
We're into whips and chins. It's a picture of their faces.
It's whips and chins.
South Carolina Raj says, why is it called a take and not a give, since you're giving your opinion?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Rome. Wasn't he the one that coined the phrase?
Well, have a take and don't
Right.
suck. Because I was thinking it was because of first take, but you're
No.
right. Rome said
Rome.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, he's been doing have a take and don't suck for a long time.
So if you go to take on Wiki, in terms of this discussion, a take is a single continuous recorded performance. The term is used in film and music to denote the track, or to note and track the stages of production.
Yeah.
So that's what a single take or a one take occurs when the entire scene is shot satisfactory for the first time.
And so
it's based
Rome
off
just,
of that.
Yeah, Rome just usurped a film phrase
and made it his own.
And
Rome
and used it to talk about, someone's opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure have a take and don't suck has been on.
Where do you come out on this?
Has been there.
Yeah, that definitely is before first take.
Because how old is his show now? 25 years?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's sometime in the 90s. Like, because it started in San Diego.
Yeah.
And let's see. 1996.
So this is 26 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 26 years.
Yeah.
So
where do you come out on this?
That's,
yeah, you're right. Good call.
That's where I think it comes from. Taylor sent this to us into the Equitable Bank inbox. If you could choose, would you rather A, never have to sleep, B, never have to breathe air, or C, never have to eat? So in other words, you could survive as a human without sleep, without oxygen, or without food.
So wait, I'm always refreshed if I choose sleep?
Yeah, if you don't have to sleep.
That one easily. I don't mind breathing. I don't like swimming that much, and I love food. I want to eat. Sleep. I'd have more time. More time to do stuff. I don't think I'd get bored.
Would you have too much time, not only to get bored, but maybe get into some trouble?
Trouble? No, definitely not.
I don't know if I would like society with no room to sleep. It's bad enough everything's a 24-hour news cycle.
Oh, I thought this was just me.
But think about it. If you had, isn't there something relaxing and isn't there something, isn't it just a nice anchor on the end of your day?
Sure.
To lay down and take your mind off things.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, if you're physically, if you don't need to sleep, but I think mentally you would need to sleep.
You need to rest your mind.
You need to rest your mind. You need to shut everything off.
That's why I do hate.
You need to play in that weird dreamland, when you get into the deep sleep and you start
much like the
dreaming
deep state,
weird
the deep
things.
sleep. Yeah, I will say, often during the weekend, if I have a weekend where I'm doing stuff, and it's not even like helping someone move, but just like it's kind of go, I don't like it because I do enjoy my down where I can just unplug,
right,
and just not really think.
I think I would choose rather never having to breathe air. You don't have to worry about drowning.
I guess that's true.
Well, technically,
now
I guess you could still drown even without oxygen, but.
Yeah, this is a weird question.
It is.
Like Rusty says, it doesn't say you can't sleep. You just don't need to.
You just don't need to.
And then Travis says, rather than not have to eat, I'd rather be able to eat as much as I want without any of the consequences. Yeah, that's always a great answer. That's the dream, right? To be able to eat as much as you want. You don't ever gain any weight.
I mean, I guess never having to eat means you would never get overweight,
Mm-hmm.
right?
But I like food. But I like the taste of food. Food is not just something that I eat to live.
It's enjoyable.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
Whereas breathing air, I mean, it's an involuntary response. We just do it.
I don't think about it.
We don't think about it.
Yeah.
So I think I would choose never having to breathe air.
Hmm.
I would want my sleep.
It's a good point. Dan says, I say sleep as well. You could still sleep even if you didn't have to. But Tank says, but can you sleep if you want, like a sleep off a hangover? Yeah, if I'm still allowed to sleep, but I don't need to, you could just do it for the, for the purpose of it.
But there would still, there would be that temptation to, well, I don't need to, so I'm just going to keep on going and going. I still think there's a potential for either severe boredom or getting yourself into trouble.
I'm telling you, after like a week and a half, that no sleeping thing gets very boring. And eventually you'd be like, I'm going to sleep. Plus, the question is phrased with so much wiggle room.
Sure.
To where like, you don't have to breathe, but you still can. You don't have to eat,
but you still
could eat if you wanted to.
Yeah, this is an interesting one.
It is. That's true. That's true.
Old Man Doug says, why do they say it's homemade when it's made in the restaurant? Is this false advertising?
Well,
do they say homemade at restaurants or do they say made from scratch?
Made from scratch has been used a lot more. Homemade was, that was the term that's been used. I think restaurants are much more using made from scratch. Because that's a more accurate term.
Correct.
If you're a breakfast place, like a country, old country buffet, or not country, what the hell's the name of that place out on the interstate?
Cracker Barrel?
Cracker Barrel. Thank you. Made from scratch biscuits, meaning the flour, the eggs,
they make them,
the butter. They make them there in house versus, frozen biscuits that are brought in and they just reheat them.
Yeah, like KFC, for example.
You think Popeyes? You think that stuff?
That's fresh. That's made from scratch in there, baby.
I mean, they literally shrunk during the process.
Oh lordy.
Tiny biscuits, tiny chickens, tiny everything. I mean, yes, technically Doug is right. But
That's why I don't think they say it anymore.
But I think made from scratch, because that's literally what it is. You're making it from the very beginning.
He has another one. Who will be the first negative caller into overreaction, and who is hosting the first show? Yours truly and Gary are on the first show.
I will be the first negative caller.
Nice.
I'm just gonna call in and say, man, they would have won by more if they hadn't eaten that haggis.
Who is the caller? Bill? I feel like there's a Bill who always calls in first. There's the same guy.
I'm outside of our regulars. I have a way of shutting out,
the regulars on that.
The regulars on that.
See, there's
show.
one guy. I think it's Bill.
I don't remember.
Bill
them.
is always mad. But if they win, I don't know who the first negative caller will be. If they lose, it's always that. That guy is the same guy. I think his name is Bill.
Yeah.
I think his name is Bill.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be the first drunk.
Oh, yeah. And it'll be afternoon. That'll be fun.
It will be afternoon.
Can't wait. It's going to be a good time.
Let's see. Johnny Pig. Here's the nerd debate that's been
what was
polluting my timeline.
Yeah.
Which item of strength would best the others if you matched up Captain America's shield, a lightsaber, Thor's hammer, and the One Ring? To which I needed to clarify, is that the ring you get when you're a good patient at the dentist's office? You remember the little the reward drawer?
It's a promise ring.
Oh, it's a promise ring.
That's the One Ring.
So the One Ring is a promise ring.
Yep. All my promise ring guys out there.
Yeah.
Remember when we were all idiots? The ring. The answer is the ring. You have to throw it into Mount Doom. The answer is the ring. The answer is the ring.
The ring.
That's the answer. It's the ring.
I'm cutting your ring in half with my lightsaber. Goodbye, ring.
Couldn't do it. It's not.
What do you mean couldn't do it? How do you know? Have you tried?
I've not tried.
There you go. The lightsaber. We see the lightsaber cut through many things.
But
cutting through doors. Cutting through, cutting through tauntauns.
Tauntaun, that's soft as Nebraska's offensive line last year, John.
That lightsaber cuts through a lot of stuff.
Nah, not the One Ring, though. The One Ring to rule them all. It binds
Based
them.
on what?
The
because
lore
you pulled
of
it out
the ring. Not the
but
lore
what does
of
it do?
I mean, a lot of things gives
Like
you. It gives
what?
you power.
Like what?
It gives you power. You're
what?
able to control.
What power?
You
What, the
control-
power to be a super nerd?
You control Middle Earth. What do you mean?
Oh, I control Middle Earth.
That's the world, John.
Maybe some of us like just regular Earth.
I
Why do I
figured you
want to
would
be in
love
the
Middle
Why
Earth.
do I
You
want to
love
be in
being in the middle?
Why do I want to be in the middle
Centrist
of the
boy.
Earth when I can be on the
What
Earth?
if they called it centrist Earth? You'd be a huge fan of Lord of the Rings.
Highly unlikely.
Dan, you're a fellow nerd, are you not?
Yeah.
All right. What do you think of this answer?
You both are wrong.
Oh,
it's obviously Thor's hammer.
No way.
Thor's hammer was made in the heart of a dying star.
John?
That holds up against
It was?
any. It was, yes.
In the
That-
heart of a dying star.
Would you
By a
shut
giant
up? You're a
dwarf.
Star
By
Wars
a
fan.
giant dwarf?
Yeah.
Oh, that's problematic. to
What
say.
is it with these shows and dwarves?
It's a giant dwarf.
I don't know, but
Oh, it's a giant dwarf.
your take, John, makes a modicum of sense. Josh, no.
Oh, but what
The
do you
One
mean?
Ring to rule them all
Yeah, it binds them, and in the
It
darkness
literally-
binds them.
doesn't do a single thing.
Please tell me that was not your own personal creation.
It was not. That was the creation of J.R.R. Tolkien.
What was it again?
Well, you want me to read you the whole thing?
Do you have the whole thing?
please. Let's,
No, I don't
let's-
know. I don't know the whole thing. I just know some of it.
Oh, there's more.
All right, here we go.
I mean, this is another reason why this series is so stupid. I mean, with Star Trek, very simple. Live long and prosper. Star Wars, may the force be with you. But now, Lord of the Rings, it's got to be some long-ass screed.
One ring to rule them all, one ring to find them, one ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. Oh, doesn't that get you all excited?
Stupid.
I got to finish the books.
Imagine
that on
I'm
a
gonna Return
t-shirt.
of the King.
Now,
Hey,
real
you
quick,
could. It's
imagine
like
that
4
being
lines.
read by Kate Blanchett, though.
Yeah,
At the
imagine
very
that by
start of
Kate-
the first movie, and like a black screen, and it just slowly.
Oh, I'm sure it was great.
Peter says Josh is right. Also, he says the ring allows you to have invisibility so it can surprise the opponent. That's true. Frodo would put the ring on, and he was invisible. Then the Eye of Sauron was able to see him and figure out where he was.
Yeah, and so were the ring wraiths. So
Exactly. But it's powerful.
But
if the-
again,
if
once the lightsaber cut that bad boy in half, there ain't no
Lightsaber.
more ring.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, ring. Ever seen a lightsaber destroyed?
Yes, they cut Darth Maul's in half that one time.
Yeah, but he still had the other half.
Oh, that's true. Chance says, yeah, but Thor's hot sister destroyed the hammer. Thank you, Chance. The hammer was literally destroyed.
No one giving any love to Captain America's shield.
Because that thing broke at one point in the movies, too. It looks cool, but
and that's just a piece of metal.
Plus,
But I guess so is Thor's hammer.
Ryan McGee's not listening right now, right?
I don't think so.
Captain America sucks. He's just so boring.
Typical lib out on America.
You don't like Captain America. He sucks.
I'm not
Hey,
a
look,
huge
I'm a-
superhero fan,
I'm
but
a
I don't
hoity-toity boy.
I don't have any problems with him. What's wrong with him?
He's just boring. He's just boring. He's like Superman, boring. Superman, I have all the powers.
He was
Cool.
Captain Communist. You'd be, oh man, he's the best.
Captain Lib. Captain Lefty. I saw this question in the fun bag from this week, Drew McGarry. The question was asked, is it better to give people name to pets like Leonard, Grace, Fisher, or Carter? Or is it better that they have whimsical names like Cupcake, Beastie, Snoozy Pants, or Mr. Detective?
This is a Jack Mitchell favorite because he always likes to have human names as pets.
Yes. Come here, Bill. Bill the dog. So your pets are named?
Geo and Wrigley.
I mean, Geo's technically a normal, like a name, but I don't really know any Geos.
Well, there's people named Giovanni who shorten their name
Yeah.
to Geo.
I don't know, but I don't know any Geos. I don't know any Wrigleys. I don't know any member of the Wrigley
Oh, I know
family.
many Wrigleys. They're all dogs. It's a very popular dog name.
Yeah, so we have Banks, the dogs that we have also had over the years, Bella, which is a human name,
Yes.
but not, I mean, like, again, I don't know any Bellas. Husker, which, again, a million people have that name for their pets, and then Jax, which really wasn't a human name when we got Jax, but now kind of
It's a human name now.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It's amazing how we've morphed. We
Yeah.
used to not name our pets after humans, and now humans are being named
After
after
pets. So here's the thing that I want to do, John, and I don't think Riss is going to allow this. I want to get a pet and name the pet Pizza. I just think it'd be fun and whimsical. So I guess I lean towards the latter. Come here, pizza.
Best dog name ever? DOG.
DOG the dog. That's pretty good.
No, best dog name ever is Come Here Boy.
Come here, boy.
Come here, boy.
Come here, boy. Come here, boy.
It's all one word. Come here, boy.
We were talking about how we had to go to the bank last week, and he immediately popped up. Like, no.
No, it wasn't
Gotta
that.
go get cash.
It wasn't that.
Gotta go get cash, bank.
I'm more into the whimsical just because there's so many different, funny things that you can do.
Definitely.
Now, while I also don't have an objection to, naming your cat Lou.
Dr. Lou.
Or, Ernie.
And Bert.
I would prefer the whimsical names because there's more room for creativity.
Yeah.
This one came in from Gillette Razor.
Oh, cool.
On Twitter. Is mac and cheese pasta?
I mean, yes, but if someone said we're having pasta tonight and I was like, cool, and I went over and it was mac and cheese, I would be like, that's not what I expected. I would expect someone to say we're having mac and cheese. I wouldn't say if your wife was like, yeah, we're having pasta tonight. You're like, sweet, what do we have? And she said mac and cheese. You're like, it is pasta, but I don't refer to it as pasta.
It is pasta. Why do we do it that way? Because
great
spaghetti and meatballs, pasta.
Yep.
Fettuccine Alfredo, pasta.
Yep.
Do we name any other pasta dishes? I think we named all of them.
Chicken Parmesan.
Last night we had vodka
chicken
pasta. It was tremendous. Or wait, was that Monday? We had vodka pasta sometime this week.
Yeah,
It
but
was
it's got
awesome.
pasta in the name, so
That's true. Yeah, I guess it's hard to argue with that.
yes, mac and cheese is pasta. Now you are right, but I would be if I were asking someone what's for dinner, or if I was invited to a dinner party, what's for dinner? And I asked them, what is it? And they answered pasta, I would be triggered. Because you wouldn't, if you were going to a barbecue, hey, what do we have for barbecue? Meat. What kind of meat? So I would shame the people who would just answer pasta.
What if it was, hey, we're having some form of pasta, we just got to decide what it is?
Then make up your damn mind.
Fair point.
You wouldn't go to a barbecue. Oh, we're gonna have meat. Oh,
That's
we don't
true,
know what
yeah.
kind of meat. Well, what do you have at a barbecue?
That's true.
Pick one.
Pick a side.
Choose a side.
Wow, look at you demanding people get out of the centrist lane.
Well, that's not being the centrist lane. That's just being the
Undecider.
the undecided lane.
Hmm.
I'm decided. I've decided that both sides suck.
Zachary says, imagine Josh saying, we're having pizza tonight. About my pet. We ain't eating my pet.
Okay, now going back to the
animal.
Well, no, but
Matt, it's like someone saying we're having sandwiches tonight and you go over and they're having hot dogs. I'd be so mad. Because then you'd have to have the stupid debate, which
Yes,
I
you
also
would.
hate.
Yes, you
Is a hot
would.
dog a sandwich? No, it's not. Move on.
But you would want to know specifics, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. You're right.
So mac and cheese is definitely pasta.
Yeah, it is. But again, I would be bummed if that was like. But I'd also be like, yeah, why don't you just tell me what we're having?
Yeah.
Chris texts in, LOL, my dog's name is Kevin. My son's name is Jax. A couple more on that. El Scorcha says, human names for dogs used to be fun, but it's completely played out now. Amazing Danny says, anything other than standard dog name is good. Although, now that I say that, if you tell me your dog's name was Spot or Rover, I'd respect that. My dog is Walter. I don't think I've ever met a dog named Spot. I don't think I've ever actually known a dog named Spot. It's like, that seems like a 50s dog name. Like when I hear Spot, I think of like my grandparents.
Spot, Fido.
Yes, those types of names.
Does anyone have? I
Skip, my
have
dog
never
Skip.
met a dog named Fido.
Same.
I don't even know where the idea of Fido being this. Was there a famous Fido in early pop culture?
I don't know.
It's just, for some reason you hear the word Fido and you think dog, but I've never met a dog named Fido.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had a dog or never met a dog named Spot.
Yeah.
Because people, it's kind of like naming your kid, Bob or Joe. It's
Mhm.
like, oh, we can't be that.
It's weird. Yeah.
We
here,
have
this
to.
is-
We can't have these. We can't have these plain names.
Well,
we have
plus-
to have names like DeColdest.
Well, if it's also a kid being named Bob, it's like, how old are you? Bobby. I wouldn't want.
Sure.
If I met a first grader and he's like, "Hi, my name is Bob," I'd be like, "What? Your parents trolling you?"
Mike says I had a cat growing up named Spot, and El Scorcho says Fido is Abe Lincoln's dog's name. Really?
Really?
Is that why Fido became
I mean, that makes sense.
popular?
That makes sense.
Interesting.
Now I always forget. VJ says potatoes and sauce equals. Is this ganache? Is that how that word is pronounced? Or no?
Gnocchi.
Gnocchi.
Nochi. Or
Gnocchi.
Gnocchi.
I don't know if I think I've had that.
I have.
don't remember how I feel about it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Fido.
It's a really great like quick dinner solution.
Yeah.
Takes like 2.5 minutes to cook.
I think
love it.
I think that's why we've had it before, because it's like, crap, it's late. Let's eat.
Okay, so yes, there is Fido, who is Lincoln's dog's name, but there was also a Fido born in 1941. It lived 17 years. It was an Italian dog that came to public attention in 1943 because of his demonstration of unwavering loyalty to his dead master.
Wait, which dog is this?
It was a famous Italian dog named Fido.
Because there was also a dog like this in Japan that they made a movie about with Richard Gere of all people. What was that dog's name?
All right, this might be a little long, but so Fido. Let's see.
Hachi the dog. Yeah, what a dog.
So Fido was born in 1941, a brick worker in San Lorenzo named Carlo Soriani, on his way home from the bus stop, found the dog lying injured in a roadside ditch. Not knowing for whom the dog belonged, Soriano took him home and nursed him back to health. The dog, and he and his wife adopted the dog, named him Fido, which is Latin for faithful. After Fido recovered, he followed Soriani to the bus stop and watched him board the bus for his job. When the bus returned in the evening, Fido would greet him and follow him home, and this was the pattern. In December of 1943, the city they were in was subject to Allied bombardment in the Second World War. Soriani was killed. That evening, Fido showed up as usual at the bus stop, but did not see his master. Fido returned home, but 14 years thereafter, until the day of his death, daily he would go to the bus stop to wait for Soriani to get off the bus.
Yeah. How sad is that?
And
also, like,
Time
really cool.
Magazine wrote an article about this. It became a story, and now there is a statue of Fido in Borgo San Lorenzo in Italy.
That's crazy, because the same thing happened. There's this dog, Hachi, that it happened in Tokyo. And so his owner died of a hemorrhage on his way to work, because he would always meet at a similar thing at the train station, and they'd walk home together. He would go there every day for like 10 years and was waiting for his master to come home. Dogs, we don't deserve dogs.
According to Wiki, Fido died still waiting for his master on June 9th, 1958. The news of his death was announced to the public by the newspaper on a four-column front page story. On June 22nd, another media outlet commemorated Fido with a poignant cover story. The cover painting shows Fido dying on the roadside with a bus waiting in the background.
Oh,
He was buried in the cemetery next to his master, Carlo Soriani.
man.
And that's where the name Fido comes from.
There you go.
At least where it became popular in the 20th century.
David, who's a dog trainer, says, at this point, I've worked with over $5,000 professionally, and I've never worked with a Spot or a Fido. But he says he has worked with people, or he's heard people who have described their dogs as Fido, not Fido. What's a Fido? That's not how it's pronounced. Say it right, people.
Well, maybe in
Fido.
Italian it was Fido.
Maybe it was. Yeah, that's a good point.
And
Maybe it
because we anglicized it, it's Fido.
was. It's Fido now.
There you go.
Dumb debates.
You learn something new. Dumb debates. It's not always dumb. Sometimes it's smart.
Yeah.
We should rename it Smart Debates.
Travis says, stick to sports, not emotional, tear-jerking stories about dogs. Yeah, seriously, man, you're making me emotional
I'm
right
sorry.
now.
I wanted to know.
Making me emotional
I wanted
right
to
now.
know.
Making me emotional.
Well, you're not dead.
Yeah, but, just
And
think
you don't
about
use the
dogs.
bus, so Banks won't be waiting for you at the bus stop.
Be waiting there at the front door for me. Just be waiting there at the front door. Banks, I'll be home in an hour. I'll see you in an hour. We're going
Yeah,
for a
but
walk.
then you'll come in with your naked chest exposed and
That's in the he sees that in the morning.
Scare the poor little guy.
That's in the morning. That's not at night.
All right, we're coming up on some unsportsmanlike content and more as we continue on 1620 The Zone. But first, a word for Brookside Medical Clinic. Gentlemen, you know, you could experience a lot better quality of life, A, if you get a great loyal dog like Fido, or if you work to fix your ED problems. Guys, if you have been suffering from ED issues, I need to introduce you to the advanced wave technology at Brookside, because without surgery and without taking pills, you can get your normal erectile function working again, because the advanced wave technology helps restore and regrow blood vessels. That gets the blood flowing, and that makes everything work like it used to. And it's non-invasive. You don't have to worry about surgery. There's no side effects. There's no recovery period. And if you call today, Brookside, 402-671-7777, you can get a free consultation and blood flow ultrasound. It's an over $500 value. Call today, 402-671-7777, and stop worrying about the little blue pill and start thinking about the way things used to be. With Brookside Medical, 402-671-7777.
Join Sharp and Benning this Friday, 6 to 10, when they officially kick off 1620 The Zone's Red Out Week, as we begin the countdown to Nebraska football. Presented by Union Bank and Trust, Gary and Damon will be joined by Husker guests and experts to dissect and discuss Nebraska's first game in Ireland and the 2022 season. It's Sharp and Benning's season kickoff roundtable, presented by Union Bank and Trust, where your money has people. Friday, 6 to 10 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly sunny and very pleasant into the evening with the temperatures in the lower 80s. Skies should stay mostly clear for tonight, drop back to a low near 60. Mostly sunny on Thursday, a little warmer, highs to the mid-80s, then there's a rain chance Thursday evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV Newswatch 7.
1620 The Zone's unsportsmanlike conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time Saving Traffic Center. Looks like a crash on Maple at 180th is causing some delays through there. Also, westbound McKinley Street is closed between 60th and 69th, so traffic is alternating through the eastbound lanes. Expect delays through there. If you're north on the JFK, stop and go traffic from Q to L Street, and then the southbound JFK has stopped traffic from L Street to the eastbound I-80 split, traffic down to just one lane. Avoid that part of the southbound JFK. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery.
Announcing the Nebraska Lottery's Your Park Second Chance promotion. Enter any non-winning $5 Nebraska State Park scratch ticket for a chance to win a 2-night stay in a beautiful cabin at one of our state parks. Top prize odds, 1 in 88,000.
Being in business 100 years can't be easy. Rotella's Bakery is that business. Great family-owned and operated business that understands the needs of the community. They specialize in breads and rolls made from the highest quality ingredients, ensuring that they are superior in taste. At Rotella's, with 5 great generations represented, the American success story is combined with customer satisfaction, and they don't compromise in quality. For more information about their specialty breads, you can visit rotellasbakery.com.
Before you know it, Husker football season is going to be here, and you want to be in Memorial Stadium or following the Big Red on the road. And while you look for tickets, look no further than ticketsforless.com. Formerly Ticket Express, they are your home for the best selection of Husker tickets inside of Memorial Stadium. And the best part, you'll never pay those outrageous fees like you do at other sites. Just compare. And you want to follow the Big Red on the road? Tickets for Less has you covered there too. Find the best seats at the best prices to all your favorite Nebraska events, all in one convenient location. Ticketsforless.com. That's ticketsforless.com. Get in the stadium.
Dan Thompson of Thompson & Thompson, third generation roofing, siding, gutters, and more, where they're celebrating 25 years of business.
Thank you, Omaha, and all the communities around for putting your trust in us for 25 years. Integrity is what our customers like about us, and they know they can trust us to protect their home and make it look great. Call Thompson & Thompson, third generation today, and become one of the thousands of customers who are glad they did. Or click thompsonthird.com.
This is unsportsmanlike conduct.
What happened to the days where a man was proud of his dick?
On 1620, The Zone.
I made you some
Unsportsmanlike.
Not yet.
Not yet, Dad.
We still have another segment. Sorry. I didn't expect the Fido talk to go on as long.
Did go a little long today.
Yeah. I'm glad we learned about Fido. Now I know the rest of the story.
We report, you decide.
I should have taken over for Paul Harvey. Now you know the rest of the story. Those were always so. I know this was way before your time, but
Yeah, what do you want to talk about?
Those
old
were
man?
always very interesting segments. You know, Paul Harvey would do the thing called the rest of the story,
Mm.
where he would tell stories kind of like this one from Fido, where you've always wondered, well, where did that come from?
Yeah.
And then you find out the backstory, and it was always kind of a twist ending at the end. It was always very fascinating.
Like how Bruce Willis was dead the whole time. Like that kind of a twist ending?
Yeah, but these were real stories, not a movie. Speaking of movies, we do have a movie club.
Yeah, your pick this
The
week.
Gray Man,
Yes.
right? Yeah, that's the one I picked a couple weeks ago. It's a Netflix streamer. You can go to netflix.com and stream along with that. Also, a reminder, it is read out around the world. No, wait, nope, that's the
No,
wrong
it's
promotion.
not that.
It's Big Red Weekish.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's technically more than a week.
It's starting on Friday.
It starts 2 days from now with the Sharp and Benning Not So Round Table.
Mm-hmm.
Because it won't be conducted at a round table, but they will have their usual suspects of great guests and conversation for 4 hours on the upcoming season. And that kicks off Big Red Weekish
Mm-hmm.
or Big Red Week Plus.
Red Out Week.
Or Red Out Week Plus.
Yeah.
Got too many reds. I need my script. Anyway, it's brought to you by Union Bank and Trust.
Hell yeah, it is.
Where
Including
your money has people.
including in there, Break the Curse.
Break the curse.
We'll have that going on
That's next Thursday. That's a week from
tomorrow. I don't know if we're allowed to announce what we're doing next Friday, but that's going to be pretty cool.
Not yet. We
Yeah,
gotta
no,
wait.
I'm just saying it's going to be cool though.
Well, if it happens, yes.
Well, we're doing it.
Oh, we'll double.
We're doing even if we're here.
We
doing
want to
it.
find out where it's going to be, if it's going to be there.
Well, it's gonna but it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool content.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Wow, lazy.
No.
The lazy Gen Xers.
Yeah.
Well, next week will be fun though.
Yeah. Going on a trail and watching Josh run naked is not
Can we?
No, we can't.
I mean, I won't naked. You monster. I wear.
But
stuff.
anyway, it's Red Out Big Red Week Plus, brought to you by Union Bank and Trust.
Featuring Break the Curse.
Featuring Break the Curse, the Sharp and Benning Roundtable, and whatever surprise event Josh has in store for us next Friday.
Me running around and you watching us.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's all next week. And it's also prediction week.
We got to get all the records. We confirmed today that we actually will have Sipple on. Or that was yesterday, maybe. We confirmed that
Yep.
we're gonna have Sipple on Monday. We thought he was gonna be gone.
Yep.
Well, we're gonna have all the regulars.
Yeah,
next
all the
week.
regulars, and half of them, more than half of them, will be in Ireland already.
We'll have the poll question.
Yep.
Damon Benning breakdown? Holy crap! It's time for the breakdown again.
Dear God, it is.
Yeah,
You're
his
right.
phone cutting in and out.
Yeah.
I'm in Bennington. So can't hear you, Damon.
We're going to have a blast.
Gonna be an awesome time.
And, of course, we also have Golf Flash. Man, there's so much stuff coming up here in the next 10 days.
A lot of things to do.
Not to mention Big Red Overreaction.
Wow, featuring you.
No, it's featuring you. All this time you've been saying, "Oh, you're gonna do this." You're
I
gonna
know,
do
and
that."
then I got
guess
it.
who gets the
I got
first
the
one?
first game. Oh, it'll be a great time, man. A little afternoon BROR. That'll be fun.
Yeah, you keep convincing yourself of that.
Yeah, it's not gonna be fun.
Deep
But it
down
will
inside,
be.
you're sad.
Look, no, you know, I'm not even gonna say what I was gonna say because I don't want it to get reversed. I don't want us to reverse. Look, I'm happy I got week one because I get to watch games week one. Week 0, it's fine. Gary and I will have a great show together. Have a 6-pack.
Oh, you're drinking during this show.
What do you mean? Of course.
Wow.
You do the same thing at home. I hear you. I hear you going to your fridge during commercials.
You don't hear me going to my fridge?
Yeah, I do. Hey, I'm going to my fridge, and then I hear. I hear all of it.
It's a nice delicious, refreshing Diet Coke.
Oh, is that what
Yep,
it is?
that's what it is.
Okay.
That's what it is. Well, coming up, we have some unsportsmanlike content.
Oh, unsportsmanlike content. I can't wait
Yes.
to hear that open.
Yes, we get to hear it. It's so nice you get to hear it twice, which includes. Oh God, more the list
What
season
happened
is
now?
still going on.
What?
Dear God,
Football's almost here.
why can't we stop the list? And
get the eggs.
Snoop Dogg.
Oh,
wants to help make your mornings.
Oh, that's awesome.
Coming up on 1620 The Zone.
You could win $5,000 to have the ultimate tailgate party on 1620 The Zone. Enter now at 1620thezone.com.
There are actually two kinds of cigars. The first is the one you smoke with beloved family and friends. The second, the one you enjoy with friends you've just met. And you'll find both at Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge. At Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge, there's a well-stocked humidor with some of the best bands from around the world and a bar with your favorite cocktails and other drinkables. So what do you say? Which cigar will you be enjoying tonight? Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge, just off I-680 and 48th Street next to Gubby's.
Ted Wally's. Squeeze every last bit of flavor out of summer than you can with a spoonful of creamy, delicious Ted Wally's Ultra Premium Ice Cream. If you're in Benson, swing in for pints, quarts, or half gallons of Ted Wally's to take home. Or if you're in the old market, taking your senior photos or maybe just kind of hanging out, slip into Ted Wally's for a tasty treat after the photo session. There's still plenty of summer left. Enjoy it with rich, creamy flavors of Ted Wally's Ultra Premium Ice Cream in Benson, the Old Market, and at tedwallys.com.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
When Big Mobile charges you an arm and a leg, they're taking your money and your power. And your arm and leg. Boost Mobile gives your power back with an unlimited plan for $25 a month on one of America's largest 5G networks. We can't give you back your arm and your leg because we're not qualified surgeons. Unless you're an iguana who can grow limbs back. Switch to Boost and get an unlimited plan for $25 a month. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. New customers only. One line, $25 per month with autopay. Additional restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com for details.
1180 The Zone is your home for Omaha Storm Chasers baseball. The Storm Chasers are in action at Werner Park and beyond with an exciting team filled with future Major League stars. Join Jake Eisenberg for every pitch, every hit, and every out. Tune in and stir up the Storm all season long on 1180 The Zone.
The Storm Chasers are on the road versus the Louisville Bats. The pregame is set for 4:15 with first pitch at 5:35 on 1180 The Zone.
1620 The Zone's unsportsmanlike conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
Look, I made you some
Unsportsmanlike.
unsportsmanlike content.
Unsportsmanlike content.
Content that's unsportsmanlike.
So I was trying to find the Mariners Angels game, right? And
Oh, is it on YouTube today?
yeah, but the one that popped up on our YouTube is this alternate feed.
Gross.
Where you have these three people hosting from the MLB Network studios and they're interviewing some barbecue guy. And so you got it split into a quad box.
What?
Where you have the host in one corner, one of the dudes they're interviewing in another corner, a picture of the ribs, which look fantastic, by the way, and then the game in the lower box.
I found a regular one on YouTube.
I know, but for some reason,
Oh, weird.
It's like, man, I realize it's the the Mariners and the Angels suck.
That's true.
But is it that boring that we have? It's like let's just talk about our barbecue.
Yeah, well. Hey, it's pasta.
It is pulled pork mac and cheese, which is also a pasta, by the way. All right, on to some content. Dan.
Remember when the New York Yankees were on pace for almost 120 wins?
Yes.
Well, now that number has fallen below 100 wins after their third straight loss last night, leaving them with a paltry 2-8 in their last 10 games. What's it going to take for them to turn around heading into the playoffs?
Scoring some runs.
Are they the Mets now? Remember when the Mets weren't scoring?
It's weird. It's like whatever the Mets were dealing with before the All-Star break in terms of scoring runs has now moved across and into the Bronx. It's moved from Queens to the Bronx. And now the Yankees can't score. So, yeah, offense. That's the first thing they need.
Yeah. More rising for Judge.
Yeah, how's Aaron Judge in his home run pursuit? How's that been going?
I think he's still hitting them, but maybe not at the pace that he had been. Everything's just falling apart for the Yankees. You hate to see a franchise like the Yankees. Hasn't won a championship in over a decade. Only won in the last 22 years.
If you go back
been a while.
to the Mariners series when they lost 2 out of 3, the Yankees have lost 11 of their last 13.
Oh, 2-11.
Now they still have a 9-game lead over Tampa, but if this
But they're
continues,
not first in the AL anymore.
no, Houston is has pulled away.
I think they're up by a couple games. Houston is.
And now all of a sudden the White Sox have started to get it going.
Baseball. It's been crazy lately, John. That's what they're saying.
And thus the reason why Mike Farron never gets too excited with your questions about
It'd be Game 7 of the World Series, and he wouldn't be excited. Hey, you think this team's good? I don't know. Let's see what happens tonight in Game 7, the last game of the year. Thanks, Mike.
On yesterday's show, we looked at the preseason top 5 and picked the teams that we think will drop out. Now let's look at teams 11 through 25 and find a program or two that we think will finish inside the top 5 when the season comes to an end.
Ooh, all right. So you're going anywhere from Oregon at number 11 if you're looking at the app poll.
Yeah, all the way down to
all
BYU.
the way down to BYU at 25th.
I got a couple candidates for you. One, like kind of an off the radar, or maybe hasn't done so lately, and one that has. Oklahoma State is 12th.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State plays really good football. Obviously, did they finish in the top 5 last year? They were pretty darn close. That would be my kind of obvious pick. A couple of dark horses, not so much, but NC State and USC, those would be the teams that if things break right for them, I could see them finding their way into the top 5. I don't think like any of the SEC schools that are, like Arkansas, Kentucky, Ole Miss. I don't see any of them doing it. I don't think Wisconsin.
Wait, you don't think the old Portal King can launch Ole Miss into the top 5?
It'd be a lot cooler if he did, but I don't think so. So yeah, I think those are my 3 schools: Oklahoma State, NC State, USC. But Oklahoma State would be the one I like the most.
Those are good picks.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
What about Miami?
That was the other school I was looking at.
Miami, who's 16th in one poll, 17th in the other.
Yeah.
I don't think the odds are particularly good. Or you could include the team that got a first place vote in the coaches poll.
Texas,
who, by the way, did not make the AP poll.
They did not. And they were, I think, 27. So they weren't even, 26th.
Incredible.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, no. The lists continue on ESPN. Today, the worldwide leader put out a list of players for each team that will rebound this season. For Josh's Cowboys, the off-injured Leighton Vander Esch. For John's Rams, Allen Robertson. And for my Packers, David Bakhtiari. How are we feeling about this list, boys?
Those are all good candidates for each of those 3 respective teams. Vander Esch, when he's healthy, is really good. Allen Robinson, now that he's actually got a real team, a real coach, and especially a real quarterback, and not having to play on the landmine-filtered field at Soldier Field in Chicago. And Bakhtiari, who, again, injuries.
Is he ever going to play, though, Dan?
Yeah. That's the question.
According to LaFleur, they're taking him very slow. Slower than he wants it taken, but they do want to have him for the season opener.
I don't know. I'm kind of feeling a little nervous about Van Der Esch because he always gets hurt. I really like the Allen Robinson pick. I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be a really good player.
I do too.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with pretty much everyone on that list. After knee surgery this week, it seems like Zach Wilson and the Jets have avoided a catastrophic season-ending injury. Wow. All right. But how good will the second-year quarterback be this season?
I don't think he's going to be that good, but I've not been a fan of his since he got drafted from BYU.
Yeah.
He just, I don't know, man. Every year it seems, or every 2-3 years, we see a quarterback who not so much comes out of nowhere, but definitely goes from way lower on the draft boards, and he just flies right up them. And he was that quarterback 2020 into 2021 into the 2021 draft. Mac Jones was like that. I'm not expecting a whole lot from him, but at least he'll be playing this year because I didn't see the injury live, but just given the reaction to social media, it was like, oh boy, this doesn't seem like it's going to be good. So the fact that he's okay is nice.
He is in the position to be reverse Wally Pipped. Wally Pipp was the veteran who got replaced by the young Lou Gehrig and never got his job back. Guess who's going to be in position to replace young Zach Wilson in week 1?
Mike White.
The big dog, Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco. Good Lord. The old man, Super Bowl winning quarterback, Joe Flacco, I'll remind you.
11 touchdowns, no picks that postseason. Crazy.
Great guy.
Great guy.
Milwaukee has always seemed like Chicago's little northern brother. Now here's the city's best athlete on perhaps one day playing for the Bulls.
Go ahead and bring up the video stream there because we're going to play the video here. And this is Giannis.
I think anybody who asks that question that plays basketball, if he said no, he'd be a liar. It's a team that won multiple championships. It's a team that one of the greatest players, if not the greatest player, to ever play this game played for. So it's a no-brainer. Everybody would love to play for Chicago. Down the line, you never know. You never know how life brings it. Maybe I'll play for Chicago. But right now I'm committed to Milwaukee.
So what would Milwaukee think if the Bulls ended up with Giannis one day?
Well, given what he just said, I don't think that they'd be very happy at all. And yeah, those two cities, they kind of hate each other.
Yeah, it's a pretty stiff rivalry.
You got Illinois versus Wisconsin, the actual cities themselves.
Right, they're close together, but Milwaukee's always kind of felt like a
looked down upon.
Yeah.
They'd be mad. They'd be very mad. That said, he signed a long deal a couple years ago.
He did. It's a ways off, but the fact that
he's talking about
he's even talking about it, I got to imagine Bucks fans are just going, why?
I wouldn't like that
Why?
either. I wouldn't like that if I was a Bucks fan either.
100%, that'd be a jersey burning moment.
Ooh.
They'd all
probably
congregate in the streets right in front of Fiserv and be like, all right, come on, free. You get a free barrel if you burn your Giannis jersey. Moving on. Elon Musk, the man who would be king of Twitter, says he is buying Manchester United. If true, what would this mean for international soccer?
Is this actually true? Or is this just a bit?
It could be a bit. He does have a
The headline is he jokes about buying Man United.
Well, what if he did? What would that do to your beloved sport?
I don't know.
Isn't this Team Chevy? This is the team formerly known as Team Chevy.
Formerly known as Team Chevy.
Oh, then they'd be Team Tesla.
Yeah, that would probably be true. I have no idea what it would mean. No, I literally have no idea.
You don't
probably
think,
be annoying.
Would soccer fan be upset by this?
Oh, some would. Yeah, I'm sure.
I think
sure
most
some
Man
people
U fans would be happy, though, considering that they constantly are like, for the past about 5 or 10 years, they've been like, sell the team, sell the team, sell the team, sell the team.
The dude's got money.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be willing to spend it.
Yeah, you think so?
You should be happy.
Why should I'm not a Manchester United fan? I don't care.
You literally have the second worst owner in all of sports.
After him?
No. After Dan Snyder.
So I'd have the third worst owner in all of sports. And then Trump could buy the Bills and the fourth worst owner. And then just keep having bad people buy all these franchises and Jerry Jones will suddenly look like a nice
You'd
guy.
much rather have Elon Musk than Jerry Jones.
That's not true. Jerry Jones delivered He delivered 3 Super Bowls.
He didn't deliver squat. It was all
delivered
Jimmy Johnson.
3 Super Bowls to
It was
my
all
beloved
Jimmy Johnson.
Cowboys.
And he's got a pretty cool helicopter, so you know.
Who, Jerry Jones or Musk?
Jerry Jones.
He does have a very cool helicopter.
Yeah, but he never uses it. Instead, he drinks and drives and picks up his wine at 7-Eleven.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I don't want you to get sued, John.
Well, speaking of cars, just as summer has died, so will the Dodge Challenger and the Dodge Charger.
Oh, wow.
The 2 V8-powered muscle cars are being discontinued after 2023. John, as a quote-unquote car guy, how much does this suck?
Well, for the Mopar fans, yeah, it's huge. But unfortunately, this is kind of the way things are going. So enjoy your gas-guzzling V8s while you have them, because pretty soon they're all going to be
Are you going to go buy
electric.
one? You don't even have one of these. You going to go buy one?
No, I'm Team Chevy, but for the Dodge folks, it would be very sad.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them go away. But now, just think of the people who already have them or are going to go out and buy them now. They'll be collector's items.
And then they'll be worth a lot of money in a few years.
So go invest right now in your Dodge Challenger and Charger. And while you're at it, get a Camaro and a Corvette, because you never know how long those are going to last.
There you go.
I did get a good point out of our lovely producer, Chance, the other day.
Mm-hmm.
This is one way to stop those terrible, terrible Duke boys. I tell you.
Yeah, Dukes of Hazzard would totally suck if they were driving around in an electric car. Me.
1 second, Boss Hog's on our table. We got to go plug this in.
And right in the middle of the jump, they run out of electricity and just plummet to the ground.
Last one.
This actually might be a funny
There
bit.
you go. It should
Somebody
be a new
needs to
show.
do
Reimagine it.
The electric Dukes of Hazzard.
All right. And finally, Snoop Dogg has entered the breakfast cereal business. Snoop Loops is a fruit-flavored cereal that has been said to cure the morning munchies. A, which munchies is Snoop Dogg really trying to cure? And B, how has Kellogg's not hit the D.O. double jizzle with a trademark suit?
So why would they hit him with the
Snoop Loops?
They're not Fruit Loops.
Right, but that's pretty darn close.
But he spelled it with a Z.
Oh, he spelled it with a Z.
Well, you're allowed to if you do that.
That's
right?
pretty
Loops?
close, man.
Loops isn't like a trademarked word, is it?
It is not.
It's close. I mean, it's a fruit-flavored cereal with loops in the title.
I love it. That's
It's
awesome.
pretty close.
Yeah, very clever is what I would say it is. Yeah, munchies. You got the morning munchies.
A, fruit-flavored cereal's gross.
I don't want any cereal, to be honest.
And B, yeah, Snoop doesn't care about what you having your complete healthy breakfast. He knows.
He's talking about waking and bacon.
He knows where his customers are coming from.
And that's why it's great. Wake and bake and have a little Snoop Loop.
Also,
Gross.
neither does the Kellogg's Corporation. We all know how Corn Flakes was started. I don't know if it was on this show or if it was on a different show
What
that I
happened with
ranted
Corn
about
Flakes?
Oh, they stole
Are they
it.
about drugs?
Yeah, they stole it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they stole it.
There you go. Yeah, they can deal with it.
If marijuana makes you enjoy Fruit Loops, that's another reason why they should never legalize
You
this
should
stuff.
you should try it.
I hate Fruit Loops.
You should,
Oh
but maybe weed would make you enjoy them.
no, I don't want to enjoy
You'd probably
them.
be a happier person,
They're
John.
I doubt it.
You'd smile more.
No, never,
You'd have a great time.
never. Am I still stuck with you?
We'll see. We'll find out.
All right, bet of the day. Coming up next on 1620 The Zone.
Being in business 100 years can't be easy. Rotella's Bakery is that business. Great family-owned and operated business that understands the needs of the community. They specialize in breads and rolls made from the highest quality ingredients, ensuring that they are superior in taste. At Rotella's, with 5 great generations represented, the American success story is combined with customer satisfaction, and they don't compromise in quality. For more information about their specialty breads, you can visit rotellasbakery.com.
Email Sharp and Betting on the Equitable Bank inbox with whatever's on your mind. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You can get me at Gary at 1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. You want to go to a professional sporting event, you want to go to a college sporting event, you want to go to a play, you want to go to a concert. Go where I go, ticketsforless.com. When I'm looking to find the best seats to the show or the big game, I go to ticketsforless.com, formerly Ticket Express. Same great customer service. And most importantly, with ticketsforless.com, no outrageous ticket fees when you get ready to check out. The ticket price you see is always the price you pay. Unlike the other guys, they don't tack on a per-ticket service fee at checkout. It's ticketsforless.com. Get yourself in the game today.
It happens every day, and homeowners are victims every time, unless they call us. Hi, this is Garen Armstrong with Shamrock Roofing. Recently, a local homeowner with an aging roof had 2 well-known roofing companies out. Neither found hail damage for an insurance claim, but both happily submitted bids for a new roof. Then the homeowner called Shamrock Roofing. We found significant hail damage and sat with the homeowner when he filed his claim. We were there again when the insurance adjuster came out. And when the insurance company tried to deny the claim, the homeowner appealed with his evidence from Shamrock. The insurance company then approved the full claim for a new roof. Shamrock Roofing helped the homeowner get his roof when the other roofing companies could not. That is exactly why we say call Shamrock Roofing first, especially if you're wondering about possible wind or hail damage. If you have it, we'll find it. One call does it all. Call Shamrock Roofing today or find us online at shamrockroofer.com.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel, évidemment. Go to babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
No matter how dark it gets, there's always a sunrise, a warm bed, a warm meal, and hope. Sienna Francis House serves hope to those experiencing homelessness and addiction. Every day, we provide more than 1,000 meals and serve nearly 500 guests in our emergency shelter, Miracles Recovery Program, and supportive housing apartments, and help our guests navigate a path to permanent housing. Learn more at siennafrancis.org.
Experience every pitch, run, and legendary play. Your home for Royals baseball in Omaha. 1620 The Zone.
This is unsportsmanlike conduct.
They'll perch up in trees. They'll swoop at you. They'll attack you for no reason. Peacocks are mean.
They're not gonna kill you.
On 1620 The Zone.
Now, it's time for the unsportsmanlike conduct bet of the day.
Just a little bit under where some folks would like to see this one wind up.
Brought to you by nobody.
You gotta be kidding.
Really, we don't have a sponsor. Sorry.
All right. Yesterday in the bet of the day, we all picked in the same game. John had an over on strikeouts from Dylan Cease. He was a loser. How many strikeouts did he have?
4.
Jeez, half the number of 8. I had the over of 7 runs. Had a push. And then Dan the man, now 2-0 this week on bet of the day. He had the White Sox plus 116 in that game. Dan was a winner as the White Sox won 4-3. Tonight, I'm going to go with 2 teams that we mentioned in content. One tangentially and one because they were the focus of the question. Give me the Yankees. Give me the Mets. Plus 188. Give me the teams from New York City.
Maxey is pitching tonight. It's against the red-hot Atlanta Bravos. But nobody beats the Max. Max Scherzer and the under of 7.5 runs. That is a same-game parlay on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Promo code 1620 plus 239 METS. Max.
So wait, what are we picking here? Max Scherzer.
Well, we're picking the Mets.
Oh, just the Mets?
The Mets on the money line and the under at 7.5.
Okay.
Plus 239.
You're 7.5.
Dan?
Done.
All right. Oh gosh, where'd it go? All right. I am taking the Texas Rangers straight on the money line tonight and parlaying that with the under of 9 runs tonight. That is plus 217.
Who are they playing?
They're playing the Athletics.
Which is also a same-game parlay available on the FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code 1620.
You say under 9 there, Daniel?
Yes. Under 9, yes.
Zachary says, thanks for guaranteeing the win for my Braves, guys. Wow.
Pretty sure Max has never let me down.
Yeah?
I'm pretty sure I'm undefeated with Max. Now, that said, the Mets will win, but then the over will hit because the Mets will score like 8 runs.
Bingo!
But that's your bet of the day, brought to you by Iowa. Tomorrow, Robbie Lula.
Nice.
Robin Washit.
Nice.
There's news with both basketball programs this week.
Basketball in August?
Hell yes.
Bummer.
And Texas A&M.
Gig 'em. Mitch Holthus.
Yep, we're going to talk with Buzz Williams.
And here's my
A&M basketball.
Here's my
And
question.
Mitch Holthus.
Sorry.
Just kidding.
No. Here's my question for basketball. Will we be sold out of Golf Flash by the time the show starts because we have one foursome left?
Yep, better get to miraclehillgolf.com, go to the store, and buy that last spot so you can join us on Friday.
We want to see you on Friday.
Yes, we do. We also want to see you tomorrow.
Well, yeah. Well, we want you to see us. I don't know if we'll see our
Either
listeners
way.
tomorrow. We want you to hear us.
It all works.
We want to read your tweets.
We want to be there with you, you with us. We're all together. We're one big happy family. Goodbye.
Bye!